What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the SpawnCast episode 77. It's a good night tonight. There's a lot of stuff actually that happened this past week, so we're gonna have a lot of fun, I think, here. Everybody who's in the cast right now, RGT85 player, Essence, Dreamcast guy, Max is supposed to be around. He played Smash. I want to talk to him about it. Evan, and then Direct Feed Games. Everyone's links are down in the description if you want to check out their channels and everything. But let's go through here and introduce everyone. We have Sean, RGT85. How's it going, Sean?
Good, man. Good. It's been an amazing freaking week on the channel. I am absolutely blown away. Plus, my silver play button came in from the YouTube, so I'm very, very happy about that.
Yes. Is it heavy?
It's not really that heavy. The one thing I don't like about it is it's not that big or whatever, but you know how when you get like an 8x10 picture or whatever, and it's like framed and it just has the one thing in the back to hook it onto the wall. This has two hooks, and it's like each one on the left and one on the right, and I'm like, I don't like that. I just want one in the middle. So I don't know where the hell I'm gonna put it, but
gotcha. And then we have OJ Player Essence. How's it going, man?
Going good. It's going good. Yeah, it's been an awesome week to play Torna all week. I'm having a ton of fun grinding out the affinity charts. I'm actually almost done with all of the affinity charts of each one. So
oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been playing a lot. There's a lot of content, man. So I'm nearly 40 hours. So, and I haven't even I'm less than 50% through the story. So yeah, just been playing that. Gonna do a full review. Probably by the end of the week, I think I'll have pretty much everything done because I'm almost done with those charts. So by the end of the week, you guys should see maybe a full review of Torna the Golden Country. Maybe.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be curious to see that. I got to start playing that. I'm almost done Dragon Quest, so I'll have to get into that after I'm done with that. And then we have Nate, Direct Feed Games. What's going on, man?
Not too much. Just rocking a ton of review copies of a bunch of Switch titles right now.
Oh yeah, anything notable?
Disgaea 1. What's it called?
I forgot. Complete. That is. Oh, I need to get on that. I actually like that game a lot on the PS2. I forgot about that game.
Yeah, that I mean the Dark Souls beta, some FIFA 19, a lot of stuff.
Okay, nice. You're doing you're doing like a comparative of like because you can do the handheld stuff now. So you're doing like handheld footage. I want to see Disgaea if that looks any different at all. That's what I'm curious.
I mean, it has like the new sprites that are HD'd, so it's kind of more like Disgaea 5, but it's actually beyond that. So compared to the PS2 original, Disgaea for Switch. It looks phenomenal in handheld mode. That's all I've played actually so far.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. I love Disgaea from the I played it a lot on the Vita actually, but I like Disgaea 5. That one was good. And then we have Evan. What's going on, Evan? How's it going?
Not much. Getting some work done as always.
Getting some work done. I saw that picture you drew for Rax.
Yep.
Castlevania one. That one looked awesome.
Yeah, he's putting it on shirts and hoodies or something. He's gonna have that up soon-ish.
yeah, I saw he has a prototype of the shirt on his Facebook.
Yeah, it looks like it's got like that red and kind of black accent. It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks
pretty cool.
Yep. Next up is more stuff for us for Spawn Waves, so I got to get on that eventually.
Oh, okay. Got some shirts you're coming up with and everything.
Yep.
Very cool. We'll be checking that out. Awesome. So what's everyone been playing this week? Anything good?
Yeah, lots of stuff.
What you been playing, Sean? What you been playing?
Man, I've been playing the Dark Souls beta. My video on it was so bad because like I had been playing it and I dabbled in the game on the 360 many years ago. I didn't remember shit about it. And like when I first started playing, like I was literally like dying on like the first and second dude. And I was just like, God almighty. But then I started understanding like how to play it and I was able to get, further and further. And so when I did my video, like I kept freaking dying because, it's hard to talk because you don't just want to, I just didn't want to like sit there and have like me in the webcam in the bottom, not saying anything. But yeah, I've been playing that. A bunch, really enjoyable now that I understand it fully. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega Ages, like it's Sonic, but they added a few things into it and it looks really good. I actually was just playing Sonic and Knuckles on the Xbox 360 arcade via the Xbox One, and like I don't know, Sonic Ages just like the colors look so much better. Like Sonic and Knuckles looks washed out on the Xbox 360.
They have that drop dash and they have the spin dash in there now too.
Yes, like it's very cool. I got Lightning Force, but I haven't really played it much. I just kind of got it to get it, and then of course all the Switch Online crap. beat 8-Bit Eric's ass in Tecmo Bowl, make sure you look at the 49-0 domination.
Oh man,
it is up on his channel. It was absolutely, because we played it live, and
he couldn't sweep it under the rug then.
Oh yeah, and I was like, dude, you need to clip this from your stream and put it up on the channel, and so he did. It was fucking amazing.
Oh,
and
for you.
Well, yeah, yeah.
That's the bet you guys should have made beforehand. Whoever loses has to clip it and post it on their own channel.
Yeah, he wants a rematch, but I'm like, dude, you need to practice or something.
Oh man.
But yeah, so a lot of stuff going on this week. Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. Forgot about that. That was this week too. That feels like so damn long ago.
I know, right? A lot's happened this past week. Just
it's
all that
been
stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah,
pretty much it. Oh, Dead Rising 3. I got it. I got it on. I never played Dead Rising 3. I got it on Game Pass, and I've been playing it a bunch at night.
The Game Pass is working for you, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Game Pass is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. You try random games you'd never try. So there you go. Did you play any of the first two Dead Risings?
Yes, I played the first Dead Rising is low key like one of my favorite games.
I like that game's awesome, man.
I never talk about it, but like I played it and beat it and like 100%ed it on the 360. I played it and beat it and 100%ed it on the Wii. Like even as bad as the Wii version was, I like the motion controls in it. Okay. So like yeah, I absolutely love the first Dead Rising. Such a great game.
Okay.
You like the Wii version? I like three zombies on screen, man.
It's kind of easy,
It's like chop, then it's like, all right, well, what are we gonna do for a little bit?
The chainsaw. That was cool.
I mean, I talked about the original like when the studio got closed, right? Recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I talked about the original Dead Rising. I played that on the 360. That's the only one that I actually like. After that, I was just like, I'm done. I don't know what happened to that franchise after me. I just said, I'm done. I don't need it anymore after the original and the Wii one.
Yeah. The first one was awesome when that came out.
Like it was so different than like, zombie games are freaking dime a dozen now, but just being in this mall where you have, and it was just like so much exploration too, because you didn't know what all these stores had and all these different weapons, katanas and shit, and you could slice them in half. So great. So
I do want to add that. I mean, although the internet was around and still, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like the Let's Play community and like the pushing out video content wasn't as much. So when you went into the game, you kind of went into it a little bit fresher than you would normally with the other games. So it was kind of like something new. Like you didn't see it a lot. Yes, there was still like stuff out there, but YouTube was only 2 years old. Was it two years old when that game came out?
I think YouTube came out in 2006. I think Dead Rising came out the same year. I think.
So YouTube was basically so when I rented, I had no idea. I just saw Capcom on the cover and I was like, I think I might want. I just rented it. I was like, I think I might want to play this. Yeah. So it was cool. It was like a new thing for me too. But
we were still in that honeymoon period for the 360 where we thought every game looked amazing on it because it was like going from the Xbox to the 360 was like night and day.
The HD era was something crazy back then, man. You had to be there to experience it. Now, obviously, everything is HD, but back then it was insane going from.
That was a jump. Jumps don't exist anymore.
If you tried playing that, it was really funny. I remember this back in the day. If you tried playing that on like a standard TV, it was you couldn't read the text. I remember that.
Yeah.
I had to play it at my friend's house because he got like the sleek new flat screen TV. And could play at 720p. And I was like, I gotta go play it there.
I remember when I got my 360, and that happened with Dead Rising. That may have actually been the game that tilted me over the edge. I went to Best Buy. I got a Best Buy credit card because I was broke as hell. I had no money. I bought I'm still broke. I bought a display unit, a 19-inch display unit HD TV for like $350, and I was like, yes, the future is now. I can play on HD.
Dude, you know what game got me to get the Gears of War? Like Gears of War was the game. I'm like, I have to get an HD TV for Gears of War. $600 17-inch Dell HD TV.
You know what I did back then? It was I was playing Skate, the original Skate, and I got that adapter for the back of the 360 that would plug in, and it gave you VGA out. So I plugged it into my monitor. And that's what I was doing for a while, was that, because I didn't have like an big HD TV. I was actually playing through like a VGA port on the back to my monitor. And that was like amazing looking at the time, going from like a little tube TV to that. It was crazy. So it was a cool time. It was a cool time. But yeah, Dead Rising, that's a good game. That's a good game. Yeah, you might as well go play it now since you probably won't be playing a new Dead Rising for a while.
Any chance that Capcom would like remaster that and like maybe release it on Switch at some point?
I mean, they've remastered. They remastered and put it on the Xbox One and the PS4, right? So, I mean,
wait, did they?
They did a new version, yeah.
It came out. Yeah, it was like last year.
It was like a year and a half ago. Yeah, it was like $20 brand new.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Missed that.
Yeah, you can go buy it now. It's probably even cheaper now if you go like Black Friday. I bet you those things are going to be like $8 or $9 a piece.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be very
expensive. Yeah, that's it. I would be shocked if they didn't move it to the Switch just because it's probably easy. You know, they'll probably just move right over, call it a day. And they'll probably do stuff with like the motion controls and everything. So why not? Why not? I mean, THQ Nordic would do it. So man, what about OJ? Well, actually, know what OJ's been playing. He's been playing.
Yeah, a lot of Torna. I haven't really played anything else. I kind of put Dragon Quest aside to play, but yeah, I'm just figuring out all these little different things and everything to do with Torna, and just like figuring out all the little nooks and crannies. And I'm pretty sure it's my favorite Xenoblade game, even though it's kind of like a new game. Then it's like not. It's like DLC and a new game at the same time because you can play it standalone. But I'm pretty sure it's my favorite Xenoblade game at this point. The story's amazing. They've cut out a lot of the fat with Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 1. Okay. They've refined all of that and kind of put it in this package and said, here you go. And the producer did confirm that it is their next rendering engine for certain parts of the game. So he said, compare the grass in Torna, which is a brand new part, to Gourmat, which is the older part. And you can clearly see they showed off the pictures that, it looks a lot better. So if you're maybe looking into seeing what the next game that they do, what it's going to look like a little bit, Torna can probably give you a little bit of a glimpse. So.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was going to pick that up physically. Like I said, I wanted to get through Dragon Quest first, which I think I'm going to finish Dragon Quest probably on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to Torna after that. Because I know I can go to that after having played most of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at this point. I can go to that pretty much and play that now.
Yeah, even if you haven't played Xenoblade 2, if you've played Xenoblade 2, all it does is starts to just fill in holes, in the story. If you haven't played Xenoblade 2, this might just be at first I was like, well, I don't know, maybe you should play Xenoblade 2, but after playing through it more now, I'm like, actually, no, you could just jump right into it. You'll just kind of...
It's a prequel, right?
Yeah, it's a prequel. Mm-hmm. It's a prequel. You'll just kind of know certain things beforehand, but you can still jump into it and have a lot of fun. You might get a little frustrated if you've never played Xenoblade 2 with the system, how they because Torna is much better with how they do things. So you might get a little frustrated with that, but you can still jump into Torna and have a ton of fun. It's a solid RPG.
How's the combat different? Just very briefly.
Yeah, real briefly. Basically, like I said, they kind of cut out a lot of the fat from it. Before, you used to have like blade combos that were kind of confusing. So what they simplified it to the point to where you can chain together all three elements, no problem. But if you chain together the right ones, then you'll get extra damage. Whereas before you had to actually go in certain areas, or certain ways in order to get a certain like blade combo at the end. And just tips. They just give you more tips on how to break, topple, and all that. But the biggest thing is that that's actually switched over how you break enemies and topple them to blade switching, which wasn't done before in the previous game. You can only use your driver who attacks and your blade who gives you support, but now you can switch between them at any point. So it gives you access to up to 3 people at a time in order to fight with your driver or your blade. So just a lot of little things that just make it a lot better, in my opinion. So,
yeah, it sounds like it's a lot easier because
much easier to get into. Much easier to get into. And like I said, there's even quests that give you hey, you have to do this blade combo this many times or this driver combo this many times. So it's much easier. Whereas in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for some reason they tied the tutorial to buying informants, buying stuff, and then it tell you a little small thing okay, this is how you do this, and it's what? Why don't I just have a normal tips page? So now they have an actual tips page, and you can go through each thing with the battle system. Much better.
Okay, cool.
Mugawara link where thank you. We're gonna go through any super chats at 10 p.m. just to keep everything on track. So we'll have a little space kind of carved out for that. Yeah, I'll check out Torna. I'm excited to try that as well. What about Nate? What have you been playing, man?
I have been playing a very awesome eShop game that I guarantee no one here has bought or played, and it is Debris Infinity.
I haven't played it, no.
It's basically Geometry Wars meets Asteroids.
Oh, okay.
It's $5, and it's awesome. It's hard as hell. The game will kick your ass repeatedly, but it's a really good game that people should check out on the eShop, especially if you like the Geometry War games from like the Xbox 360, because it's, instead of having shapes, it's like asteroids, but it will introduce things like little triangle things that will launch itself at you, little blue circle things that will spin at you and stuff. So it really is just Geometry Wars with different shaped enemies.
Okay.
And I've been playing this game called Think of the Children. It's coming to Switch next week. And it's basically Overcooked, but instead of worrying about food, you're trying to save your kids from getting killed.
I like it.
Like
Interesting.
You're getting eaten by like a shark at the beach, or seagulls will like eat their flesh off, or a coconut will fall and like break their skull. So you as a parent are like running around the beach and you're picking up the kid, like throwing them in towards like the ice cream man, just so they don't get killed. But it's funny as hell, and it's so random of how the game really is structured. Like on one of the levels is a supermarket, and like your kid can get stuck in the freezer and freeze to death. or he's like climbing the shelves, and the shelves will just fall and crush the kid with a bunch of cans.
What? I'm gonna check it. You're just going through the eShop and looking for anything at this point, right?
If they send me a code, I will play it. And
okay, there you go.
I'm playing it, I'm like, this is hilarious, because it really is Overcooked, where you just are trying to keep your children alive.
All you indie developers out there, send Nate everything so he'll be forced to play all this stuff. You guys, anyone out there listening, send it to him and make him play some weird stuff, because he'll talk about it.
That's right. But I mean, Debris Infinity, $5, Geometry War.
I'll check that out.
You definitely should pick it up.
Gaming Super Snake, I see you there. Thank you. We'll answer super chats at 10 p.m. Eastern. What about Evan? What have you been playing, man?
I think we started the week off with Blackout for Black Ops, the beta.
Okay, you played that on PC.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
What else? And then I've just been playing competitive games with my friends, and I picked up something called Stray Cat Crossing, which I've been looking for a while.
I kept seeing that pop up on Steam when you were playing it. What is that?
It's just a short little puzzle game done in some really beautiful like pixel art graphics with fantastic characters and an insanely good soundtrack for $3, I think.
Yeah, it's $3. Look at that. It has like a it looks like a PS1 game almost.
Yeah, it's got some good aspects to it. So yeah, I've just been tinkering around with that.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, I've just been playing mostly Dragon Quest 11. I'm like 45 hours in, so I'm getting closer to being done that game. It's good though. It's good. If you if you want like a straight up RPG, like old school JRPG, Dragon Quest 11, buy into it or wait for the Switch version, because we assume that's coming maybe next year. Buy with confidence. You'll get a lot of time out of it. So it's very old school though, so keep that in mind too.
It's super old school, especially going from like a Xenoblade, or if you went from like a Horizon Zero Dawn or some of the other RPGs that have been the good ones that have came out. So just keep that in mind with Dragon Quest, because like it's a bit jarring when I went from like Dragon Quest to Xenoblade. I was like, man, I can go anywhere, I can jump down from this place. Oh, look at all these crazy affinity checks, like look at all this stuff, and then like Dragon Quest is like,
yep. You level up, you get skill points, you put the skill points in your skill tree, and you move around the skill tree, and that's it.
That's it. You know, it's just so it's just really basic. But then again, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's still really good. Dragon Quest.
Yeah, like
really
the artwork and everything in it, like the character models. And it's just a really good looking game.
So are there a lot of slimes?
Yes, there are slimes. There's metal slimes. There's a metal slime. You want to kill it really quick because it gives you a ton of experience.
Because they'll run away. Run away really quick.
Long game too. It's a long game. I think the main story that I'm seeing, it's probably going to take me at least 60 hours to get through the main story. So,
yes. And I think they said all of the content is like 100 hours.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of other stuff to do as well. So
yeah, there's a lot of content in the game.
It's very cool. It's and it has that Dragon Ball look to it, obviously.
Yeah, Kira Toriyama.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff though. I would check it out. Or like I said, it is coming to the Switch eventually. And from what I've played of it, they're saying it. They're trying to work it in onto the Switch and everything, and they had to wait for the different Unreal Engine version or something. But honestly, I play it and it doesn't. Nothing in the game blows me away to where I think they would have like immense amounts of trouble getting it onto the Switch. So you might see it next year is what I'm thinking at this point. Personally, they might show it off at E3 or something next year, or TGS or something. But I think they'll get a full year out of this version before they do the Switch version. So I would actually like to play the 3DS version just to see how it's different. But that's probably never coming over here. unfortunately. Anyway, so we've talked about what we've been playing. Do you guys want to talk a bit about the Nintendo Online? Because this has been an interesting situation with this, right? I mean, people aren't sure what to make of the Nintendo Online. What I see online is people on different sides and stuff of it. People like the NES games, but they don't know what to think about the rest of the service. So what were you guys' thoughts and impressions so far of I think everyone here has the online service, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, Evan has it. So what do you guys think? So I mean, the NES games, I guess, is like that's like the only thing other than Cloud Saves is different now, right?
Basically.
I haven't downloaded the app. I haven't used the voice chat because I don't care.
I have.
I need to try it just once. Apparently it does random voice chat now. So you can, when you do Mario Kart and you have the app on, everyone who gets in the room that has the app, and apparently a lot of people are talking about the app. So apparently people are using it. You just get thrown in a room and you can put your phone on speakerphone, I guess, and you can talk to people.
You'll actually see it even if you don't have the app on. You'll see on your screen when you're playing the game that someone has started a room while you're playing, so you'll know that someone actually wants to talk. So it's kind of interesting.
It sounds like they put a lot of work into this app rather than just do voice in the game. Like it sounds like to have everything handshake and work together.
Yeah, it does, because it's really weird how like quick the app is to pick up that you're playing a game. Like it's so fast that it's just like, oh, now you're hopping into this channel, press this button, you're in just immediately. And it's kind of odd that it's across those two things, but it seems like so much work for something no one really wants.
Yeah, it's like, but like the amount of work there, they probably could have just incorporated basic voice chat like what we have with Fortnite.
Right.
It's weird. It's weird.
That's the main thing. It's like, why does it exist? But I mean, it does. You know, I did it. 8-Bit Eric and I played a game of Tecmo Bowl, like I said, and we used the voice chat, and you know, the clarity on it was fine, but it's like if I'm using my phone, I could just call you or use Discord. Like, why do I need to do this? But you know,
for that, yeah, because the NES games you can't do any random matchmaking or anything. You can only play with your friends. Which, man, how awesome would Tecmo Bowl be if there was like matchmaking with it?
Yeah, that would be good. That's what I noticed with the NES games. So I mean, it's cool that like the NES games are there. Like the service is just. I mean, I think I paid it turned out to be like $14 to $15 with my coins, you know? So, I mean, it's about what I thought for $14 or $15. I mean, there's not much to it. The NES games are cool, but definitely need some improvements here and there. But I mean, like, you know, it's hard for me to say because like, I'm not a huge like online, like gamer, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not on there playing online all the time. So for me, it's just like, I mean, you can play games online. You know, there's NES stuff, but definitely they need to make some improvements. But I thought it was okay for what I mean, I paid $15 for it, but yeah, definitely need some improvements.
Yeah, the NES games are cool. I think it's a neat benefit, and they're adding more.
Although I will say, I still think that we need, you know, local backups, which you guys think are coming, right?
Yeah, they're working on them, but man, hackers not only now have, get this, not only do hackers now have local backups, as of 2 days ago, they now have themes.
So there you go. So,
so the hackers are just doing everything now. They're just
doing it. They need at least to hire these hackers, man. But I did feel good being able to just like back up my Xenoblade save. You know, I was like, you know, I want local, but man, it feels pretty good just to be able to back this up. The cloud saving works pretty cool. Like I guess it like randomly, like or not randomly, but like at 12 o'clock or something like that, or at some point it just backs things up automatically.
Really?
Yeah.
I have yet to have any game that I'm not currently playing get backed up.
Really?
As soon as I play the game, I quit it. It gets backed up immediately.
Yeah. I'm not talking about like every game. It's like once you play the game. Yeah. So like Xenoblade, I've been playing that. So it's pretty cool to have that being backed up because that's the big one for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one that I don't want to get spawn waved over here. I don't want to get John.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
that happened to me. You know?
Oh man. I need to get some hackers to get Sean out of this chat. See, here's the thing. Okay, Sean's in here talking about 200 likes and everything. We've got 214. Here's the thing. Here's the problem now. If you have not seen this, it looks like YouTube and YouTube Gaming are merged now, is what I understand, or they are merging them.
Well, it's not necessarily merging. They're just getting rid of one. And
they're getting rid of YouTube Gaming, right? we've
Yeah.
always been in YouTube gaming. Okay. So whenever we would stream like this and everything, the podcast, we'd always end up, I think, in YouTube gaming's trending page. But now if we got too many likes, there would be a problem because we'd end up being on the trending page more than likely.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, right, dude. We can't have that. That would not be good. Can you imagine us being on the trending page on YouTube?
Yeah,
that'd be a problem, man. That wouldn't be good. So, keep those likes to yourself, guys. Don't. I 500 likes 600 likes even would be the worst thing ever because that would probably get us there. So, man. Can we? What are they? What are they talking about there, OJ? They're poking at you. VRL.
VRL.
Can we boot OJ again? We didn't boot OJ in the first place, did we?
What are they talking about?
Oh man. Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah. See, Knack Jojo says they took back their like. All right, good.
all right, good.
We're in good shape. The online though, I was going to look at my cloud save just to see, just to see, because you said you haven't had any of your stuff backed up, Nate.
Yeah,
like over time.
Only the stuff I've been playing has been backed up. I still have like 150 games that are just sitting there saying waiting to back up, and if I look at it, it just shows the spinning circle, and I either have to force it to stop and then back up manually, or it does nothing.
Oh, Ted Sumo booted you, OJ.
He booted me from where?
That was in the video.
That's the video.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got destroyed. I needed like a max revive after that one. Man. Like that was horrible, dude. That was
so funny.
It was hilarious. Dude, he freaking went into my own stream to roast me. Like that usually stays within the podcast, the SpawnCast. This man dipped into my own stream and to roast me on there. So good stuff, Ted. Good stuff, man. I appreciate the work.
So I'm looking at Nate right now. I'm looking at my save data thing, and a lot of them right now just say waiting to back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
But some of them have backed up. Like I haven't played Garage in a long time, and it's backed up. Oh, good. Whew. It backed up my WWE 2K18 file.
That's important. I mean, WWE 2K19, so you probably don't want to play that again.
You never know when I want to go back to that one. That's a slideshow.
I mean, John Cena is going to come out and kick your ass.
Oh man, in like 8 frames per second. Oh gosh, yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't even notice that till now. I wonder why. I mean, I guess it backs them up one at a time or something. At this point, I don't know. It's weird. Let's check that out. It is also going through the Ethernet adapter. I feel like that wouldn't matter though.
I tried to like disable the automatic upload and then reactivate it to see if it would like kickstart it to make it start doing something, and it still hasn't done anything. So, I mean, if I haven't played the game in like 6 months, then I
wait a minute. Did they put Excitebike on the arcade archives?
Yeah, Excitebike
Yes.
Versus.
Isn't that on the NES app?
Yeah, Excitebike Versus is a little different though.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Mario Versus,
Oh, I see Debris Infinity right there. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so the NES, that's where I turned this on for. I was going to go to the NES app to look at the games. So the NES app, what did you think of it, Evan? This NES app? Because that's like the big thing right now, other than the voice chat and the cloud saves.
I mean, the NES app, I mean, everyone's talking about it being like online. That's kind of cool, but a lot of people seem to want it to be a more matchmaking system. But if you consider how many games are there, you're not going to get a good experience, because if you want to play Excitebike and everyone wants to play Tecmo Bowl, it's just going to be terrible. It was okay. I mean, I played it a little bit, missing a ton of games I'd rather be playing than what's on it. And
what game would you like to be on there?
Dude,
on the
Contra.
NES?
Come on, you and me, Contra.
Oh yeah, Contra would be sweet, man. I didn't even think of that.
Isn't that on the list? Is that on the list?
Is that coming?
I don't remember that being on the list. I thought it was stuff like Mario Golf or Open Golf, whatever the NES game was, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember. What's Con? Maybe
Yeah,
Contra's on.
River City Ransom's awesome, but Battletoads, let's play around with that. Come on.
Fuck Battletoads.
I don't know how that works. How does that work with Battletoads? Because that's like
Battletoads sucks. Okay,
no, I mean like
it's not a
isn't
good
like
game.
Microsoft's doing stuff with Battletoads. I wonder if there's any kind of licensing issue there.
That's what I'm always worried about with these games, because what is it? It's a Contra would be Konami, right at this point.
I think Konami would do that though. I think it'd be fine with that. Mostly because Konami's all about those any kind of royalties they can get at this point. Yeah, I forgot TGS is still going on. When's Konami's thing? Doesn't Konami have like something going on at TGS?
I think they do. There's a lot of stuff going on at TGS. There's some more stuff going on tonight too, like with Capcom apparently. So some people are thinking maybe we're gonna get another announcement maybe for an Ace Attorney, even though people were upset that there wasn't Ace Attorney already announced, like not outside of the trilogy that was announced, like a new Ace Attorney game. So let's see what happens, man.
Battletoads would be cool, Evan.
I mean, Battletoads would be good as a start, but then we could also do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade games.
Ooh. See, now you're just naming some games. Now I'm sad looking at this menu now.
Well, now
that's how I booted into it. I saw it and I went, oh, played 3 games, uninstalled.
Ninja Turtles is now owned by Nick, though.
Yep.
So people are upset about my Battletoads mention. I honestly don't think Battletoads is a good game. Like I think it looks really good. I don't think it plays good at all. And like it's not because of the difficulty necessarily. I just don't think it's a very good game. I actually sold my copy of Battletoads because it has some, a little bit of value and I didn't really want it. So
yeah. I see the super chats there. I'll be reading those at 10 p.m. It's about half an hour, guys. Half an hour. We'll go through them. So I'm looking at this. Look at the menu, Evan. That would be cool. I would like to see a like Final Fantasy here, like the first one.
But they're already releasing. They're already releasing all the Final Fantasies, or a ton of them at least, separate from this. And you imagine Square Enix would plan on putting it out, just not on that app.
Maybe. I would like to see like Final. Even if they did like 2 or 3, that'd be cool. They drop those in there. I mean, they're supposed to add what 4 per month now going forward. Something like that. So
I'm looking at the website here, and they're saying in October there's going to be at least 3, minimum 3.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, Solomon's Key, NES Open, Dodgeball or Super Dodgeball, and then November another 3, Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, and then Twinbee, and then December Wario's Woods, Ninja Gaiden, and Adventures of Lolo.
Okay. So yeah, but man, that means by the end of the year they'll have 20. Yeah, wow. They'll have what's that? 27 or 28 of them in there then.
Hopefully they're good, or maybe they could just end out with Xanadu. I don't know.
How big can they make this library before they have to rethink the price?
I think they could keep growing it. They need Double Dragon 2 on there. Double Dragon 2 is arguably the best 2-player beat 'em up on the damn system. Like it's so good.
But that's really where the price comes into play. Like if another company owns it and they have to pay royalties to them to put it on that app, that's where the price would change.
But they got Double Dragon 1 on there.
Yeah, they do. That's Trade West. Who did the second one? Is that different in terms of like company everything?
No, I think it was still Trade West.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is on the NES Classic, isn't it? Yep. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, but they might be like paying per one they sell or something like that. Like every fiscal year or something, they might pay out so many royalties to different people. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at this. I'm like, would they still charge $20 a year if this library in like 2 years was like 80 games? That feels like a lot of games to charge $20 a year for.
If it's all Nintendo, I imagine they would to be a selling point. But if they start bringing in way more outside titles, it'll probably
I mean, how could they? I don't think they could add Super Nintendo or anything like that to it without.
Well, wouldn't it depend if they try to make this like an NES Flicks and they just eventually take games out of the library? Be like, oh, this was here for 8 months. Well, now it's gone.
I mean, I guess they could do that, but then people would get mad then because then there's no other way to play the games now since they're taking down ROM sites and everything too. Oh man, that'd be tough. I think what I just really want is a separate app that's not even part of the online that has a like room to grow. It's like how Game Pass is like $10 a month. If they had like just the, I don't even know, what would you call it? Like Nintendo Flicks, like literally like that. And then it has like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance,
the
like
retro
everything. And it's like $10 a month and it has like 100 games or something like that on it. And they change it and out every month. That would be awesome. Man, that's what I want. N64 in there. I don't know if they'd be able to fit GameCube in. GameCube did. Yeah, maybe that's like their future. Maybe that's like their end game is to get to that point.
I would think it would be.
Yeah, but then there's gonna be that awkward time where they have to separate the app from the online.
That's true. I almost wish that that the NES stuff wasn't on the online app, and hear me out on this. I almost wish that they would have just like superseded all that and just literally put the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, all of the games that were on the system, on a fucking cartridge, you know, one for the NES, one for the SNES, and then just been done with it. Like, that would have been so awesome and like perfect. But I guess I'm the only person who thought that was a great idea.
That would have been easy. That actually probably would have been, they actually would have probably made more money on that than if they did for the NES, because those games aren't big. They'd fit all of that on like a 1 gigabyte cart or something like that. The smallest, or 512 megabyte cart or something. Just put it out there.
It would have been so simple.
They would have, they would have got that full 60 for it too.
Yeah.
There's no way they wouldn't have, because the Super Nintendo Classic is what, $80?
Yeah, and I would have. I mean, you're getting 20 games on there on that, and then what, 30 on the NES Classic? Like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, people would have paid big money for that. Oh man, that would have been. I would have liked that. Ah man, now I'm sad. Oh man, what was the first game everyone played on here?
Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, and then I was so disappointed when I was like, I can only play with friends. I was hoping for that online random matchmaking.
You would have taken on the road, man. You would have started embarrassing people online. Dude, go on Game Pass. They have Tecmo Bowl on Game Pass.
No, but it's on Switch.
They do though. They have it on Game Pass. It's the new one. Well, it's the old one with the new one. Like,
yeah, Tecmo Bowl throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that one. I just want to play my NES one against other people online who aren't on my friends list. That's actually that's my biggest gripe with the service, is that the NES games didn't have random matchmaking.
I was surprised by that. Like, in my video that I did on it, it was like my live impressions of it, and I was like, what? I can only play with friends?
Because their messaging never said anything about that. They were like, you can play these games online. So they made it seem like you could play online against anybody, and then you boot up the app and it was just like, you can only play with your friends. It was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
When did you say this until this second?
Yeah, and I don't want to play Gradius with any of you, so.
All right. So Evan, I want to hear a bit about an issue that the online service has brought up. Because we talked about this a little bit. You brought up the fact that Blaze Blue has run into some issue.
Well, no, it's a lot of what I've noticed for Nintendo, at least, is that there's the core online games, of course, ARMS, Aces, Mario Kart, and a couple others. Those everyone likes, and the service comes out, you're going to see a drop in players, but they tend to stay pretty strong. But there's side games that have online communities that seem to be vanishing just because of it throughout the whole week. Hopefully it's going to turn around, but BlazBlue went down from like an average, which is still sad, of like 100 to 120 players at any point in time to like 20. So it's just like watching those communities, which are already so small and not catered to at all, just vanish because of it. So
that was something I was looking at. I was like, because you told me, you were like, hey, I was trying to play BlazBlue, and now there's like 5 people on right now.
Yeah, there were 5 people on it on Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh no, I was like, oh man. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Here's the hope, and I'm going to ask you guys now, because we'll revisit this in a year. You know what I mean? What's that? We'll revisit this when we're talking about Metroid Prime coming out in November next year. What do you guys think that the money that Nintendo's bringing in now, they will legitimately invest into the online service and improve it and make it better?
To an extent, yes.
Okay. So, because I'm concerned that they don't do a ton with that, and they just kind of bank money and move along. I'm thinking like free updates for games that are like how they did with Splatoon. They supported that very, very well so far. But I'm curious, because a lot of people really do not think that they're going to be doing that. So I'm curious if you think that they will improve the online service, whether it's messaging that people are at. Basically, people are obviously making suggestions and needs and stuff, things that they want. You think they'll start adding that stuff?
I think they have to. Like, to some extent, like, you don't want to alienate players because you made some poor decisions on online stuff, and like, you know, what will end up happening is it's a shame. It's bad of me to say this, but it's a shame that the free to play games like Fortnite and stuff don't require the service. Because I feel like if they did, then Nintendo would put themselves in a corner to where, you know, they have to have a really good service. They have to have people invest in it, because then companies won't want to put their games on the system.
But so he's got to pull Microsoft, is what you're saying.
I mean, they should have. They can't. They can't really turn back now. Yeah.
It's too late.
I will add it, guys. Literally, what people are saying between a good service and bad service, for what I hear, is a messaging system and voice chat. It's not like it's, oh, let's add this. It's literally two things.
I would like not as much, because PS4 and Xbox One don't even really use dedicated servers like that. It's I think Battlefield used it because EA put them in at one point.
I'm not talking about the people who don't know what servers are, but are just yelling about random, like, dedicated. So they have no idea what they're talking about. I'm not talking about those people. I'm just talking about like what most people are trying to say with like what would make it a better service or a good. It's like literally those two things, like voice chat through the system and that. So I'm hoping that they do like that. Like, because
I'd like to see like parties too. Like you can make a party on the system that has voice chat, and you guys can play games together, or take the whole party with you to a game if everyone owns the game and stuff. Because I know you can do that with like Max and I did that with PlayStation when we played Blackout. We jumped into a party, and then that party then went to Blackout. We played that. We could talk the whole time. Like that would be cool. You know, just keep it basically Discord, but on the Switch. Essentially,
well, I think even just like an on-system invite system, in place. Because right now, if I want to play Mario Kart 8 against you, I have to either tell you the lobby password or like where I'm playing. Only certain third-party games have the invite system, like Doom, I think Paladins. Like we don't, but it should be like an on-system feature where it'd be like, hey, I'm playing Smash Bros. I want to fight OJ. I'm going to send him an invite so he can join up into my lobby, instead of having to message him on Twitter to say, hey, join my lobby. It's called I'm going to kick your ass. And the password is Martha's better than you.
Oh, man.
Okay, listen here, buddy. Listen here, okay? I'm not very good at Melee. I will admit I'm not very good at Melee. But Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, I'm gonna give you the business, okay? I'm gonna get the business in those games, all right? Let me just tell you that right now. You're gonna get the business. The only people that can really watch me are pro players, just to let you know. Like anybody else is normal people. They get bodied. So just letting you know.
I think I'd like to see like I wonder if they'll ever add like achievements to the Switch as well.
Yeah, who cares?
Well, I mean, I get that. Like a lot of there are people who don't care, but there are people that really care about achievements. Like that actually
so weird.
People going in some games and stuff. And some of the Switch games already have achievements built in. Like
Sean, some people don't have a lot going on. Like, come on.
I mean, there's a lot of people who like spent. If you look on Twitter, how many people were showing their platinum trophies from Spider-Man? That's a lot. A lot of people were showing that they platinum Spider-Man.
It's just so weird to me. It's like, look at me. I did everything in this game. Okay, like, good job. You want a cookie? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was interesting because back in the day with the 360, you had that achievement score, which you still have now. But back then, I think it was even more important back in the day. Now it's less that people care about.
Nintendo did a really ghetto achievement system on the Wii U. It was like quite possibly the most ghetto thing I've seen in my life with achievements. They did it to where on Miiverse, achievements through Miiverse, where like you can take a screen or like you earn them and then like you can post it on Miiverse and it's like a medal. But yeah, it's like the ghetto achievement system. But you can do that for pretty much any game there, like letting people know like your accomplishment. I think that's what's called accomplishments or something like that. So maybe they do something, maybe they don't, but they did kind of do it. But like some games would even prompt you to like post it, like Hyrule Warriors, for example, on the Wii U. Like when you unlock, because there's built-in achievement system in that game, and then like it would prompt you to post. You got 1,000 kills on this, whatever, you know. So
what was cool was in what you call it, Steam. When you're playing games, you'll get like packs and stuff, right, Evan? And then you can use that to craft medals. It's basically from playing, they'll give you stuff. And then they also had, if I remember right, there were some achievements that would unlock like desktop backgrounds or just backgrounds for your profile and stuff.
It's not necessarily the achievements that do it. You get cards from just playing the games. Collect a set, level up the game. You can get badges for it, which you can show on your account. You can unlock artwork for the background for your system. or for your profile rather, based on what you get. You can also unlock emotes to use in chat, tons of stuff like that.
Yeah, all that, like the achievements and that stuff is all there to drive like engagement with games. That third parties love that stuff.
Well, see, I mean, that's cool if there's like an actual incentive besides just, you know, getting a score to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if it unlocks something or, you know, something happens, cool. Okay, I get it. But just like having a higher score or like 100%ing a game with like proof of it, it doesn't matter.
I seem to remember 360 Microsoft did something like that where you would unlock a new like a new thing for your like player icon and stuff from doing certain things in games. Yeah, you did.
Like Red Dead Redemption. There was a game like you could unlock avatar items for your actual avatar if you unlock certain achievements in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, and Ubisoft's Uplay system is the same way. You can actually get points and then use them to buy expansions for like levels in certain games and stuff.
Like if there's like a really hard achievement and you get it, and the basically the reward is you get something for your profile picture or something that is always displayed. That is like a carrot on a stick. I'm going to keep playing this game that I would otherwise put down. And you know, that's what they want.
Like Epic did that with Gears of War. If you got the Seriously achievement, you got an avatar gamer pick. So now you put that on there and people could sit there and say, oh, that guy's got 10,000 kills. So you kind of like had that status in the multiplayer as being awesome.
That's cool. I like that. I don't. That's cool. A number means nothing to me.
That stuff is having that is pretty neat. So the online, I think we need to see what else they do. We found apparently some icons for Splatoon 2 that could point to in-game voice chat being a thing, which is cool. So maybe they are actually making some improvements and stuff, and maybe they'll get to a point where the app is like an option. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But let's move on since in 13 minutes or so we'll go through some of the super chats. The PS1 Classic, the 20 games, $100, no AC adapter, Final Fantasy 7, Tekken 3, Ridge Racer, some of the big notable games currently. We still need to know there are 15 of them. What do you guys think of this? This came out of not really out of nowhere. I think it was a very calculated time to announce this right on the eve of Nintendo's online service with NES games launching. Oh, here's the PlayStation 1 Classic. What do you guys think about this so far?
I like it.
Yeah, me too. I'm buying one. I already pre-ordered it at GameStop. I already pre-ordered it.
Of course. I think, you know, I mean, it's another plug and play system. If you have fond memories of the original PlayStation, you're gonna have a good time with this. I hate the whole Raspberry Pi community. Just get a Raspberry Pi. Like, shut up. God, what the hell is wrong with you people? Like it literally blows my mind that like these people are and whenever you call them out, they're like, well, we're just trying to help you and help you save money. Motherfucker, don't tell me how to spend my money. All right. I know what I'm doing. I understand that Raspberry Pi is a thing. I've had an original Xbox that's been modded with every fucking game on it for 10 plus years now, and it still works. I like to have things like this. I do think it is a bit strange that they didn't go with the DualShock controller. Obviously, that was just for cost reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But that really sort of limits, you know, some of the games. Like you can't have Resident Evil 2 on there. You can have Metal Gear Solid on there because I don't believe that used the analog stick, but that kind of sucked. No Ape Escape either. But yeah, it's cool. It's another novelty thing. The NES Classic and SNES Classic are novelty items, and this is just a novelty item for people who want something. And it's like, well, I could just play my original PlayStation on my TV and I already got the games. Well, okay, that's great, but this has HDMI out, so it's easy. It's simple. There's simplicity. People. I don't understand why people have this mindset where like every product is supposed to be specifically for them. And if like this product doesn't interest them, it's like the worst thing ever. That would be like saying, you know, every car that comes out, you know, oh, I don't like that car. Why would somebody buy that car? That's insane. Why would you could get a Ford Fiesta for half the price of that car? Why would you get it? It's like, shut up. If it's not for you, just shut up. Who cares? Let people enjoy shit.
Ford Fiesta or Chevy Malibu? Which one?
Yeah.
Which one here? Double the price or not? Let's go.
It is a neat little thing that I think will be cool. I'm definitely curious to see. I will say, and then I'll shut up. I do feel like the system. I know Dave made a video on it saying that it sort of stole Nintendo's NES Online thunder, but I almost feel sort of different. I feel
what
like
does that mean?
No, he did.
What the hell does that mean?
No, Dave,
Online Thunder.
no, like Dave,
Making up stuff to talk about.
no. Dave made a video saying that the announce because like Spawn said, you know, they announced it when the NES Online service released for the Switch. So I guess he felt like that sort of overshadowed the NES Online stuff. But I think the bigger overshadowing to me is the fact that Final Fantasy VII, that is obviously was supposed to be a marquee game for the system and still is now coming out on the Switch and the Xbox One. So it feels almost like a little less special, in my opinion, because you're going to have these games presumably in early 2019. So if you're an Xbox One preferred player or a Switch preferred player, you know, you're going to have these games, the Final Fantasy VII, which is obviously the crown jewel aside from Tekken 3, on your system of choice. So, you know, I thought that was almost a bit of a damper that, you know, Final Fantasy VII was coming to other systems. But too long, didn't read version. It's cool.
Oh man.
I think the biggest thing though, like when you're talking about like, which is what I think a lot of people don't do, because like I think you talked about it a little bit, like if this certain product doesn't necessarily fit you, you know, like people kind of go like, I know a lot of people like to just disregard portability, but honestly, with Final Fantasy, having Final Fantasy anywhere that you want beats having Final Fantasy in a plug and play system. Having Final Fantasy on the Switch is easily like way better than having it on an Xbox One or having it on a PlayStation. That's just fact. I mean, you can take it anywhere that you want. You can play it lying down, or you can also play on TV. It's not a graphically, I mean, it's a PS1 game. So, I mean, I understand, like, we know what certain people are trying to say, but just to disregard the fact that you literally get portable Final Fantasy is just, I think that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous in my opinion, at least. Like, for me, these games are grindy. Like, if you want to do everything in Final Fantasy, like, it's a turn-based RPG, you know, like to me, it fits the Switch way better than a plug and play system or on an Xbox, you know. And like I said, I'm gonna get the PlayStation 1 classic thingy. I just want Xenogears on there. I want Xenogears and I want Legend of Dragoon. But you know, I'm gonna get it. But I mean, for me, I mean, I still think that it's still pretty cool that all the Final Fantasy games are coming to the Switch to where you can play them anywhere that you want, because people would have been hyped. I mean, if you get these games on Vita, right? Like, people would be excited, you know, if you play on Vita. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
You know, it's interesting that they didn't announce the other 15 games. It's really weird because it's out in December, right?
Yes.
There are going to be differences between the Japanese and the Western one. Different games.
I almost wonder if they're holding those games back specifically for a reason, a just in case reason that we'll get into. Do you think they're holding those back just in case Nintendo does actually drop a Nintendo 64 Mini at some point?
Oh, it's coming. It's that thing is coming.
We'll talk about that in the next segment after the hour. But I'm curious if they're holding those 15 games back for that, or they're still trying to figure it out. Or
I mean, do they really have, like, why would they really need to hold back the announcement in case an N64 Classic happens? Because, I mean, the PS1 library is much more vast. It's much more diverse than the N64.
Yes.
So, I mean, if they want to say, we have Metal Gear Solid,
well,
that's a huge announcement. You don't need to wait for the N64 Classic.
Here's the other fun part. All right. Think about this. I think games like Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, I think a lot of those are off limits.
Yeah, any game rated M is not going to appear on the N64 or the PS1 class.
Right, they're not going to do any mature rated games, because then the system's rated mature.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't think
They're going to avoid that because they want the market of younger people picking it up for a cheap holiday gift, and rating it M is just going to turn parents away from that for giving, 12-year-old little Timmy a PlayStation 1 Classic.
Kids have their own. Kids can go buy stuff. I mean, if you're 15, you can't buy a mature rated game in most places. And Sony definitely wants people 15 and 16. You got to be 17 years old, at least here in the US. You got to be 17 years old. So that is, that's a big rate. I would put a mature rated.
And they check you at the register. It actually comes up. Like, whenever I go to like a Walmart or something to buy a game that's mature, like I went that one night and bought LA Noire for the Switch when it first came out. It actually came up and was like 17 wide N, yes or no. And they had to actually be like, yeah, I guess you're 17. But like, it actually comes up now and reminds them. So they do not want any part of mature rated stuff on there. That's just the thing. And the other thing about the PS1 Classic that people have to remember is if they're not putting an AC adapter in there and they're not using DualShock controllers, they're cutting it extremely close the cost. And I think that's because the flash storage in there is going to be much larger than what even the N64 mini would be, because Final Fantasy 7 is like, what, 1.5 gigabytes?
Yeah, those games are a hell of a lot bigger than N64 games.
They're big. Like, yeah, some of these games, like I'm trying to think if they're going to try to get it under 16 gigabytes, I guess, for all of the games, 20 games, which means some of them are going to be like, you know, like Tekken's probably not really big. Neither is Ridge Racer.
No, Tekken, I want to say, is around 500 to 600 megabytes.
Yeah, so like they have to think about that. So like they can't put like Legend of Dragoon. That's 4 discs, isn't it?
Yes.
That's going to be an issue, like right away.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why they're putting games like, you know, Wild Arms. Wild Arms 1 isn't a big game. It's a sprite. And then you have, you know, Jumping Flash, another smaller game. But that really sucks about what you said with the M-rated games, because one of my theories was that if Nintendo did sort of get caught with their pants down and they weren't expecting the PlayStation Classic, and then they announced the Classic or whatever, and Nintendo could have done like a funny FU to Sony and put Resident Evil 2, the N64 version, on the N64 Classic, because you can play it with the N64 controller and you can't play it on a non-DualShock controller.
That would have been fun. That would have been funny.
Yeah. And like the Resident Evil 2 on the N64 was freaking a technological marvel to begin with, but now it won't happen, and now I'm sad.
That's correct. They don't want any part of that.
I can just hack it. I'm sure it'll have Hack-Chi running.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we'll finish up with this on the PS1 Classic. I think a lot of people are getting it here. OJ, you said you're probably going to get it, especially if they drop at least another JRPG on there, right?
Get me Xenogears.
Yeah, I think they can get Xenogears on there. I think Xenogears would be okay. That's 2 discs, I believe. I think they'd be able to fit that one on there. But like Legend of Dragoon, I hate to say it, guys, I don't think Legend of Dragoon's going to be on it. So sorry, but what game do you guys want to see on this? We'll kind of finish it up there.
God.
Metal Gear. I think it's a shame that Metal Gear won't be on there. I guess, but were any of the Siphon filters rated T for teen?
Yes. Yeah. Was the first one?
Let's take a gander.
I couldn't play those. Man, that dude runs too funny. I couldn't play those games.
Fucking Gable again.
I think the second one was mature. I'm trying to remember. I think the first one might have been teen.
The first one was teen.
There you go.
That game's kind of rough. I would rather have 2 or 3. The second one is mature, which is a shame because that was a damn good game. And the third one is mature. So yeah, maybe we get Siphon Filter 1 with goofy ass Gabe Logan's running.
Oh man!
I remember I rented that game, man. My buddy had a PlayStation. I rented that game, started playing. I'm like, why is he running like that? I'm done. I went right back.
It looked like he was wearing like parachute pants, like running like a freaking idiot.
I'm gonna say I would like to see them put the first Digimon game on there.
Oh wow, that'd be a really obscure kind of pick. That'd be good though. I
like that game. I mean, it was all right. So back then I rented it and I really liked it. But it probably didn't age super well now I think about it. But it was. I feel like that's a game that's also kind of expensive online. Like I'd like to see them put some more pricier games on there that are harder to find, because then it's like, okay, Digimon's like $50 online or something like that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I would like something like that. They can't do. I really wish this thing had a disc drive, because I would have loved to have seen them try to do like Monster Rancher. That would have been awesome. That was the one you put the disc in, the music CD in, and it'll read the tracks and spit out a monster to you, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's not how much the price would jump up quite a bit.
Yeah, they can't do that, unfortunately. Yeah. But like Digimon 1, I'd be okay with that. Drop Digimon 1 on there, that'd be fun. What about Evan? What's up? They already have Wild Arms, man. You're good.
Yeah, I got Wild Arms for that. I mean, we can get like a Gex in there, maybe like a
okay.
Chrono Cross, I think would be.
Oh, that'd be nice. I want that.
Drop Chrono Cross on there, man. Yeah,
that's
why not?
teen. So
yeah, you could drop that right on there.
Or bring us some of the, because Alpha 3 was okay, I think, on the PS.
Oh yeah, they could put a Street Fighter on there. You're right.
Yeah, I'd rather have it for Dreamcast, but whatever.
Okay. What about Nate?
I'd say Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but since that's coming to other platforms,
man,
it'll probably be portable soon.
Here we go.
I'm going to come up with something really obscure. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout.
Ooh,
Kick this man off of this right now.
It is one of the worst fighting games ever made.
And you want it? Okay.
Yes, because it is hilariously bad. The dub is terrible. it's just a game people should play because it's so funny and terrible.
So it'd be like a reminder of what we should do.
That is a wasted slot.
Oh, I see some good ones in the chat that we didn't name. Parappa the Rapper, Twisted Metal, Crash Bandicoot
Oddworld,
Medieval.
Soul Reaper rather.
Man, that PS1 library is like untouchable.
Yeah,
man.
It's too good, man.
It's ridiculous. Yes, that's exciting. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. And then we'll after we do some super chats and a Discord, we'll actually move on to the rumored N64 plug and play system that a lot of people believe is actually there's a lot of people believe it's coming out this year. But we're gonna touch on that. Evan, do you want to grab a Discord question while I go down the some of the super chats here that are comments and questions?
Trying to see if one's relevant. I guess we could just throw this one out. Do we think at any point they're going to be getting rid of the friend codes on the Switch and just switching to gamer tags, or no?
I would hope so. Because before we even launched this thing, Reggie said that it would just be like when the online was coming out, that it would just be like no friend codes, and there were no friend codes on the Wii U, from what I remember. So I have no idea why we have friend codes. Is what I'm trying to say right now.
It's for the children.
Oh man. Yeah, it was really funny. There was somebody, I'm trying to think of, was that on Twitter? It might have been on Twitter. I said I wished I pointed that out, and someone was like, "What's wrong with friends codes?" And the person right below them was like, "Tell me your friend code right here, right now, without looking."
The real question is, what's right with friend codes?
Oh man, I would like to think that is a plan, but I mean, can they do that now that they've already launched with friend codes? I guess they could change it.
Yeah, they could.
I'm gonna say yes before the Switch is, moved on to the next system. I'm gonna say yes. Friend codes will be gone, and it'll just be. I would like to think this online service is going to continue to move throughout generations as we go along. Like they've figured out their one online service at this point. But I'm hoping. What do you think, Evan?
I'd hope so. I mean, It'd be awesome if it happened before Smash. Like that would probably really throw that one out.
There's a good chance that Smash might have its own invite system and stuff built in. That's what a lot of people are thinking.
It's really looking that way. If you look at if you watch the last direct that they had, the sidebar, you see messaging, you see like an online hub that's built into like anywhere on the whatever, like it's like a sidebar type of thing. So yeah, it looks like Smash has its own type of deal built in.
Sakurai's probably mad that he had to do all that too. He's like, I got to design an entire online and figure out messaging and invites and stuff. Fine.
And the headquarters at Nintendo goes, "Ooh, this is nice," and they just take it. And
as someone who's played Smash Wii U is probably the worst. I don't even know how to describe how bad Smash Wii U's online. It's horrible. Like it would take me 15 minutes to explain like how it's so bad. It's horrible.
It better be good now. We're paying them for it.
Smash Wii U. Like I'll just give you just a small snippet. If you want, let's just say you're playing, you want to add somebody while you're in the online menu. You have to go to one particular area the online, your records, just to be able to pull up the home menu to go into friends in order to add somebody from there. Otherwise, it'll just say you can't hit the home menu. And I was just like, what is this? I mean, and that's just one small thing. There's more, but that's just one little minor, well, not minor, but a big thing. But that's just one thing. It's horrible. So it looks better.
Let's get through some of the super chats before we talk about the N64 Mini. Megawara Link.
Muguwara, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Muguwara. Asking why can company make games with regular graphics? I think you're meaning more so why can't they make games that aren't like super graphically intense and stuff? Why do they have to keep trying to, I guess, push for big graphics? You know what I mean? Like really I guess detailed visuals and stuff. I think people are thinking like the visuals are what they spend a lot of their time on now, and maybe the gameplay falls to the side a little bit.
Of course it does.
I feel like if you're trying to advertise for your game, what's the easiest thing to show? Gameplay or enhanced visuals?
Yeah, but then you have games like Red Dead Redemption 2 that have actual horse testicles that react to weather, and it has good gameplay. So you have intensive graphics and good gameplay.
Yeah, they can do that, but like that game's probably going to cost millions upon millions more than most of the other ones that simply go, well, we need to sell this, so graphics. There we go.
See, Red Dead's fortunate because they can sell you Buffalo cards.
Yeah.
which is what they're going to do. A lot of Buffalo cards in that online that's launching in November. That'll be fun. I don't know, because Octopath did a pretty good job with Unreal Engine and stuff on their side. So I don't think you need to have a game that looks, ridiculous like Final Fantasy 15 or something to
I think that's just a little bit of a general question, because there's a lot of smaller games that do very well, like that don't have the best graphics. And I mean, look at the Switch, right? Like,
it's not that it needs the best graphics. It needs that refined visual aesthetic that really gets people thinking about it, is always the thing. And for a lot of people, it's easier to do with more intensive graphical looking things, just because you look at a reflection, you're like, wow, that looks really nice. And it kind of pulls you in that way, as opposed to something that's more like a master stroke of just a beautiful illustration or some nice pixel art or something like that.
Yeah, but Stardew Valley is a massive success, and it's the most...
That's one of the weird ones, though, because
game.
Yeah, but that's one of the weird ones, since that group had a massive following from over time.
Well, what about Undertale?
And
that game looks like a kid drew the visuals.
Yeah, Minecraft too. I mean, Minecraft when it first started out. I mean, Overcooked sold like 1 million copies plus. If you count all the systems, like, it's done extremely well. I think it might have almost done 1 million almost on the Switch by itself.
Yeah,
based on what Nintendo said. And then if you look at stuff like Puyo Puyo Tetris, like, that sold 1 million on the Switch by itself. You know? So I mean, there's still games that can do extremely well that don't need to be all crazy.
What you're telling me about are games that the gameplay can be shown in like 2 or 3 minutes.
You're thinking of, like, Evan, you're talking more about like Crisis or something, where they have to have like Red Dead, they had to have like a whole like 8. They have to have like how many trailers of like 8 to 9 minutes just to show off different visuals and stuff.
It even happened in Spider-Man. Just zoom in, slow down, take a look at things in the window, all that stuff. Like,
are we talking about like just like Western games? Or are we talking about everything?
Probably more Western. Probably more of a Western thing, honestly.
Yeah. Because I mean, does Dragon Ball Fighters get put into that? Because it has a refined visual style, but it's obviously nowhere near the type of money and visual polish that you see like in a Red Dead. But like, that game's done extremely well.
Well, they set out with the goal to try to make it look exactly like the series, to give people something comfortable with like what they're used to. They don't need to necessarily make it look that cutting edge, as long as they can nail the feel.
I guess it is a lot of I mean, I guess Final Fantasy 15 is technically a JRPG, but I guess it really is a lot of Western games that try to push that.
I know, but then we have Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, #1 on the eShop, and I mean, look at it. It's chibi, no facial expression. They don't even have mouths while talking. They don't blink, and the game is selling. So it's not visuals. It's the core gameplay that has people interested in the game.
Maybe. I mean, if we keep pointing to the Switch for that, the Switch seems to be that ravenous entity where anything new that comes out, regardless of what it is, seems to just get destroyed and brought to that high level of just sales, just because everyone wants something new. Like, they just keep wanting that new thing.
Hollow Knight did well in there too. That was like 250,000 copies in like 2 weeks or something like that.
It's
ridiculous.
Really well.
That's a good game too, though.
Steamroll Dig did extremely well as well.
Yeah,
300,000 in like a couple weeks.
Maybe the Pocket Edition isn't even that good, to be honest. I played more of it, and I'm like the right stick doesn't even work. That bothers me for some reason. I don't know why. Otherwise, it's the full story. So there you go. Let's move on. That was actually we actually spent a lot of time on that super chat. Let's move on here. Gaming Super Snake. Speaking of Capcom, I missed the Strike games such as Urban Strike, Jungle Strike,
Nuclear Strike.
Oh, Nuclear Strike. I played a few of those, the helicopter games where you kind of rolled around and picked up civilians and blew stuff up. That was fun. I don't know how that would work that well here, because we had a patchy helicopter or something on the PS3, and that didn't do so well.
Well, I mean, it's owned by EA, and EA has no interest in making those games.
Nope.
So, yeah.
Unless they can put microtransactions in it.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Command and Conquers. That's back.
On cell phones.
Oh, man. That was one of the worst stage presentations I've ever seen.
That was terrible.
You guys are haters.
Wolverale 12 says, how much would you guys pay for an SNES subscription if Nintendo made a separate app from the online service with NES games?
I don't want it to be. I want it to be part of the 20.
I want them to just make their because I feel like there's just not a lot of room to grow outside of NES games in the 20. It's hard because then Nintendo never devalues their games. They always they never drop their prices. It makes sense because they guard their IPs heavily, but I don't know. Could they fit all that stuff into a $20 a year price?
I don't see why not. I mean, it's not like they're still selling new copies of Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. So if you include it in the $20, you have to remain active for that year at the $20. So if they have 20 million people always in the service, they're making a ton of money.
Yeah, they might just trying to go like like some places they lower the prices to just really low, and you're getting like how am I getting all this stuff for this price? But it's just because there's so many people, that are buying it. I mean, Cliff Blazinski said that that's what games should do like a while ago. He said even bigger games, just lower it to $20 and you'll get so many more people buying. I'm not sure if that's the case. I mean, but I think I'd be a lot more inclined to buy even more if games were just 20. Even games that I'm like if Shadow the Tomb Raider was just 20 off the back, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just go buy it,
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like that type of strategy. I mean, I think they're going to continue to add to it, and it's going to be a lot, but I don't think that it's going to stay 20 forever for like in the Switch 2 or whatever, like the next Switch that comes. Like, I don't think it, but I mean, I think maybe for the duration of this generation, like how Nintendo has this current Switch, it might stay 20.
I'd be curious to see how this all goes down, because I think we'll know by like mid next year, by next summer, if there will be Super Nintendo games or not on this service. So
I mean, they did say there would be.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm curious to see how that all go down. I mean, I'd like it to all be there for $20. That'd be nice, but we'll see. Riku Key says, "Oh, you can manually back them up. I guess the cloud save stuff by pushing start on the menu under the game you want to back up. That's how they back up their games." I would like the scheduling to work more. I don't know. It's weird because my Switch has been in the dock, sitting there overnight a couple times. So I'll look into that. Why it was, I don't know. Maybe it's only Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. Grubby K9 says I still got copy of Blaze Blue tag at OJ. And then he says OJ knows what I mean.
Yeah, he's supposed to send me a copy of the game, but I totally forgot. Yeah, Grubby. Well, I'll talk to you on Twitter, my boy. Sorry about
that. Wishbone says I think they said Beetle Bug Adventure. That's Beetle Adventure Racing. Better be on that N64. Beetle Adventure Racing was awesome, by the way. I love that game.
Yes, it was.
That game. Virel says N64 mini release date speculation. We're about to go into that. And then they also want to know who would win in a fight, OJ or Sean.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Sean's pretty crazy.
It'd be me by a lot. It'd be me by a lot. I copy Sheik's techniques in real life. I fight just like Sheik. Do you see how Sheik fights in Smash?
You have throwing knives? Damn.
Okay. Yes. I can disappear and reappear, and I can cause an explosion.
But Sean has the power of Dr. Pepper on his side.
That is true.
Can you beat Sheik in a one-on-one match? Let me just tell you that. Can you do that, Sean?
I mean, maybe. It depends.
If you look at some of Sean's comment sections, people think he would be very comfortable in a parking lot. Apparently, that was a comment that was in one of your comment sections, is that you looked like you'd be comfortable in a parking lot somewhere.
Well, in high school,
like, what does that mean?
In high school, that's where we would hang out.
Like, see, there you go.
Because I lived in a small town, so like we would literally have like parties in like the Walmart parking lot. Like,
sounds terrible.
Okay.
It is rough.
One time I did run around until somebody got tired, and that's how I won the fight because I knew I'd lose if I went head up. So I literally did just dance around until he got tired.
Ran in circles.
And then I kicked him in the stomach, and it was over.
Oh man,
there's that strategy, guys. If you can't win through brute force, you can do that. Endurance, baby. Let's go.
So Sokar says the important question though, will it have Final Fantasy VIII on the PS1 Classic? Probably not. To be honest, from everything I've seen, probably not. It's not even that there'd be space constraints. It's just they apparently don't even have it. So there you go. That would be an issue. Rodrigo says hello from Brazil again. Love all your guys' work. Thank you, Rodrigo. Appreciate it. And then Brennan says, why is everyone clamoring for an N64 Classic? I get the nostalgia, but wouldn't you rather have them portably on the Switch? And I guess that will lead into the N64 Mini, and then we'll return to any super chats at 10:45 before we finish up here. So let's. Oh, you know what? I missed that one. I just saw it. Rich, Review Tech, dropped a donate a $5 in there saying a bunch of sexy men. Thank you, Rich.
I want to take this time since Rich is in the chat here. Everybody keeps on asking me. Me and Rich are cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Me and Rich are cool. Rich is awesome. He follows me. I follow him on Twitter. We're cool. So there we go. Rich is there. Rich will let you know.
Yes, Rich is a cool guy. He's he actually comes by on the on the SpawnCast a couple times actually, and I see him in the chat here and there. He'll come by and hang out.
Shout out, Rich.
But yep, thanks. That's Rich Review Tech. Check him out. Check him out. So yeah, no, it's just how it is on YouTube. Some, you know, how it goes. If you have like a argument or discussion with someone, like we just saw someone just wanted you and Sean to fight. So there you go. Oh man. Oh, there's Rich. Yeah, they disagreement fine.
Oh, somebody.
There you go.
Somebody just said Nate and OJ and I don't like each other.
Oh man.
There we go.
Confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's you know, being online talking about stuff and everything. You know, it could be. I get people's fascination with things like reality TV. Trust me, I live with a wife who does nothing but watch Kardashians and stuff, so I get it. It. Actually, I don't get it, but I witness it. So, we'll say that. We'll say that. And she knows. She knows I make fun of it all the time. She knows. Yeah, so the 64 Mini, the 64 Classic, the rumored plug-and-play system, it's an interesting situation because that trademark did hit the internet. It's accepted at the end of August. So if you've been around for long enough, you know that we had this same conversation with the Super Nintendo Classic. I think some of you guys probably remember that. We had the Super Nintendo Classic controller, same look and everything, right? Kind of the black etching on like white background. Same exact look, style and everything. And it wasn't a few months later, we had the Super Nintendo Classic announced. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear that it is happening. A 64 Classic Mini. It's something a lot of us want. I think I've wanted this since the Nintendo Classic got announced because you see that timeline coming. So I have a strategy for Nintendo, how they can win against the PlayStation 1 Classic. I have a trump card for them, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Because remember, guys, the Super Nintendo Classic, did anyone think that Star Fox 2 would be on there?
No.
I didn't. So it makes you wonder if they realized that was a cool strategy to have, or good strategy to have, and maybe they have something cooking for the N64.
They're not going to put Animal Forest on there. Stop.
Oh no. I'm not talking about Animal Forest. I got another one.
Go on.
Oh yeah. All right. So here's how you. This is out there, but man, if it happens, you know, I'm gonna feel pretty good. What they do is they come to the table with Earthbound 64. They finish it and they put it on the system. No. They finish it. It's like 60% done, or was. They finish it and they put it on the system.
You're crazy.
I know. I'm crazy. It's crazy enough to work though. How crazy? All right. Let me ask you this though. If there was an Earthbound 64 on there, would you buy it?
I would buy it regardless because it's a novelty item and I like them. I wouldn't even if I got it, like I would play 5 minutes of Earthbound 64 and be like, okay, I'm done.
Really? Oh man, I would blast through that game.
I don't like Earthbound. You didn't know that?
No.
Okay, so like the three games I feel are the most like overrated that everyone loves. Of course, Final Fantasy VII, of course, The Last of Us, and Earthbound. I think Earthbound is one of the most overrated. Earthbound might be like neck and neck with Final Fantasy VII. Okay, let's talk about Earthbound.
Wait a minute. Time out. Here's what. Before you talk about Earthbound, here's the reason why I'm not huge on Earthbound either, but here's the reason why I got a problem with those two picks. Both of those were very innovative for their time and what they did. The only game that I think that you picked out of there that was actually truly overrated was like the Last of Us isn't innovative in anything. It just has good graphics, okay, and it's Naughty Dog. There's nothing that innovates in The Last of Us. It has a great story. That's about it. The gameplay, there's better stuff that stealth in way other games. Earthbound and Final Fantasy VII were innovators in their time. What is the innovative driving piece of The Last of Us? So I agree with that, but I don't agree with the other two.
Earthbound was a game that when it initially released, nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about it. It got mediocre to okay.
That's because we didn't know what it was, though. Like,
what do you mean?
They didn't know what it was.
They had bullshit. They had huge advertising campaigns. They had the stupid scratch and sniff.
Yeah, they were scratch and sniff
in magazines, and it was just so weird.
It was too expensive, dude.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I've heard.
Yeah, it was. Come on. I mean, some of the super. Look, and I hate to cut you off, man, but I got it. I got it on this one. It was too expensive. Like as a kid, I wanted Earthbound as a kid, but it was how much? Was that $100? How much was it? Was that game 70?
I clicked the download button for the ROM for free, so no, I'm just kidding. It was expensive. Yeah, it was expensive. It was like I think it was $100-something for the because it was like even the big box and everything.
Big old huge. It was
came with
ridiculous.
a strategy guide inside of the box. As well.
I told my mom I wanted that, and she looked at me like, okay, go play. She wanted none of that smoke, man. So I think it was like that for a lot of kids. Especially Chrono Trigger came out around some. I mean, if you were saving up,
that was like an $80 game too. Yeah,
that was expensive. Super Nintendo cartridges, some of them were expensive, man. So I think it was just a casualty of that. Now go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
I just think that, you know, somebody said that I have revisionist history on it. Like, no, if anything, I feel other people have revisionist history, because when it first came out, you know, like I said, nobody cared. It didn't really start getting, it had a cult following, you know, especially when it came out, it definitely had a cult following. And I feel like that cult following has sort of gotten larger over time for whatever reason, maybe new people getting into the game or whatever. But I just don't think it's, you know, I've played it. Like I haven't beaten it. I've played, you know, 3 or 4 hours of it. And it's just like, okay, like, all right.
You might want to go back and play it, dude. It gets really good as you get further in.
Fuck, I hate games like that.
Like I played it again on the Wii U.
Okay, if a game can't sit there and tell me that at some point this is going to be a really good game in the first hour or to 2 hours, like, you're doing something wrong, in my opinion. A game should be able to captivate you from the start to the end. I cannot stand the narrative that, oh, this game gets really good at X amount of hours in. It's like, well, shouldn't the whole fucking game be good?
It's an RPG though. That's not fair.
But so you don't. How long? Okay, how long should it be for an RPG then to hook you? Because I played
however long it takes Earthbound to get to that.
Because I mean, I've played tons of RPGs. Like, you know, even recently, I've played RPGs where I've been hooked from the start to the end. You know, there's been something that makes me want to keep playing. There's something that makes me want to keep exploring. Whether it's, you know, I like the characters, I like the combat, you know, something, so on and so forth. But yeah, just Earthbound, nothing really clicked with me, and so I just never really enjoyed it. I'd never played Earthbound beginnings.
I think you'd have a problem with Persona 5 then as well, because that game takes a while to get good.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, there should be something. There should be something to signify that the game is good at the start.
Earthbound does some like really creative things, I'll say that, for being an RPG.
I mean, basically what Sean is saying is that he wants to play a game that respects his time, and Earthbound isn't doing that.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. It just does some really creative stuff as you play through it for an RPG. It was just a very charming RPG, I guess.
I mean, yes, it was very unique. It was definitely a standout game in terms of the other RPGs that were around during that time frame. But, you know,
ooh, question: did you play Kingdom Hearts 2?
Did I?
Yes, because that game takes about 2 to 3 hours to get good.
I did not. I've only ever played the first Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts 2 was worlds better than the first one, but it actually takes 2 to 3 hours to get into it. Like, it takes
drop distance too. Kind of takes a little bit of time.
What was the one on the DS? I also played the one on the DS.
Dream Drop Distance.
No, that was the
3DS was 350.
Yeah,
358. It's one of the worst titles in history. Yes,
that title's stupid. That's the dumbest. That's what happens when you have these weirdo developers. They make titles like that.
See, I like that game though.
No, it's a good game. I'm just saying their titles are stupid. That's a stupid title. That's all I'm saying.
I would, yeah, but that's like Kingdom Hearts 2 would be tough, I think, for you, Sean, to get into as well. And that's an awesome game. Did you play Final Fantasy 7, Sean?
Yeah.
You didn't like it as much though. You thought it was overrated.
Yeah, like okay. I see the influence it had. I understand why it was popular. It's obviously, you know, it pretty much jump started, you know, these PlayStation 1 RPGs being and RPGs just being huge, you know, productions and stuff like that. But I didn't really like the story of Final Fantasy 7, and that was my whole problem with the game. I thought it was very sort of emo, whiny teenager sort of BS, which is weird because I was a teenager at the time when that game came out. But I was just like, oh, this is kind of you know, it's like a bad movie to me.
Did you like Final Fantasy 10?
Yes,
that's basically what Tidus is.
Yeah, I know, but I liked it a bit more. I don't know why, but I did.
I like the Sphere Grid a lot. Sphere Grid is really cool.
But then again, when Final Fantasy X came out, I was also older. So maybe, you know,
That
my taste changed. And I mean, fuck, there could be a good chance. Like I said, I haven't sat down and played Final Fantasy 7 since I was 13. There is a chance that maybe I will enjoy it more in my older and wiser age.
I also think that Final Fantasy 10, the graphics were just absolutely mind-blowing for
they were
at that time.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because like PlayStation 1, like the graphics were great, but they're like compared to N64, you're like, you know, like there's like, you know, like whereas like PS2, that was like when 10 came out, there was nothing like it.
Yeah, it was like, whoa, this is ridiculous. Like this is next generation. You know, that's that leap. That's that leap that was ridiculous.
Going from 9 to 10 was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, because they completely skipped 64-bit, you know, 64-bit or whatever, you know, you completely skipped that. It was a massive jump. So yeah, 10 was the most impressive thing that I ever saw. I was like, oh my gosh, like when I saw my friend Turtle play the game. So
had a cool soundtrack to it too, where they kind of had that heavy metal music in there for when you fight like Jack and everything. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, so the 64 mini. All right. So do you guys think, because this is the biggest question right now, it's up in the air right now. Do you guys think it is it's coming out this year, or do you think it's next year?
2019.
I'm thinking 2019 as well, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a holiday 2019 item. I'll say that. Could be early 2019.
I'm gonna go next year. I mean, it could be this year, but I'm gonna go next year. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just said, "Hey, like it's coming out at the end of this year after Smash Brothers," and they're like, "Oh, and like Smash Brothers is on the system. It's the perfect thing. You know, you can get the original Smash Brothers on that because like the original Smash Brothers would have to be on the N64."
Yeah, you would have to put that on there. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to put that on. That game is still being played to this day.
Oh, yeah. People love that game, man.
Oh, yeah. In tournaments. Like, there's still people that are playing to this day in tournaments. So, yeah, I mean, like, I think that's still a possibility. And I'm only basing it off of Smash Brothers. That's it.
Okay. Okay. What do you think, Sean?
I would like to see it this year before Christmas, maybe right after Smash Brothers. But I don't know. It just depends on how far along it is. If you actually look on the patent, it's interesting. It was actually denied. It was rejected in January of this year. I didn't really read why it was denied. I'm assuming it was paperwork or some BS related. But yeah.
And they got to accept that in August. Yeah. It'd be tough. It'd be tough to get this thing out. They'd have to announce it this week, and even then, they'd probably be cutting it close. I mean, the PlayStation comes out the first week of December.
Yeah, December 3rd.
It's like, man, that's cutting it close. So I do think next year we will have, because the PS1 Classic will still be around next year. I think we will have a holiday where it's PlayStation 1 versus N64. So that'll be really cool when that happens. And for all the people who want a PS2 Classic, it's gonna be a couple years. It'll be a little bit. Again, because of probably flash memory. You think like PS1 games are big. Some of those PS2 games are really big. So that would be some time. But it's exciting. It's exciting. I'll be getting the PS1 Classic. We'll see what happens with the Nintendo 64 Classic and see if that actually happens. I think it will, and I really don't think. Do you guys think that could come out like not next holiday, but like mid 2019 or earlier 2019? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think so.
For the N64 Classic?
Yeah. Because they can pretty much release their stuff whenever they want. Yeah. Like the Switch didn't even come out in a holiday, and a lot of us, they know we're all going to buy this. I mean, we're all going to buy the 64 Classic. We'll move on with this. What's the one game you guys really want to see on the 64 Classic?
I mean, really want to see, but probably won't get
anything. It could be anything. I said Earthbound, dude. Come on, you can say anything you want.
I mean, see, the problem with the N64 Classic, in my view, is that the N64 was really defined by games like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Killer Instinct, and these are all games from Rare, and we're not going to see them now unless Nintendo cuts a deal with Microsoft.
I figured it out.
Not for GoldenEye. GoldenEye, because of the movie license, I feel would be a nightmare. But I wouldn't be surprised if Killer Instinct and Perfect Dark were on there.
I will say this about GoldenEye: Microsoft and Nintendo were like this close to getting a remake on the 360. They were so close. There's footage of it out there. You can watch it a half hour of somebody playing it.
There was a lot of so many almost that Microsoft and Nintendo have had over the years.
Halo DS, baby.
Yeah, Halo DS. They've only broken through on a couple, like the Viva Pinata. That was one that they broke through, but even that was like went down to the wire. Viva Pinata was going to come to the DS or not, So I mean, like I think it would be really cool. Obviously, I want Smash Brothers, but I mean, like Paper Mario. I think Paper Mario would be the game.
I would replay that. Oh yeah,
or like Ogre Battle, or like Paper Mario.
No Quest 64, man. Come on.
there's barely any RPGs.
There was like none. Yeah.
That's why I don't like the N64 a lot. Like I like some of the I like obviously like. There's games that I like on there, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, although it's not as good as the PlayStation version.
Oh man, what if they took Earthbound and how you had to unlock Star Fox 2 by being the first level of Star Fox? What if they took Earthbound 64 and locked it behind the first level of Superman 64?
No one would ever play it.
The problem would be Superman 64 is taking up a spot. That'd be the biggest problem.
Just the first level. You just got to beat the first. Like that's all. It's like seriously, like 512 kilobytes. It's like you got to beat the first level to get the ring flying level to get Earthbound 64.
That'd be the biggest troll. I don't know how well.
Oh man. What about Sean? What's the game you want on there, man?
I mean, Sin and Punishment. I think that's a great game. It's a game that it did release on the Wii eShop, whatever the hell that thing was called. But it's a great game, and more people should play it.
What about Evan?
WiiWare? I think it was called WiiWare, wasn't it?
Yeah.
WiiWare.
What about Evan?
I don't know if it's because are we thinking if it sticks to teen? Because like I wouldn't mind a Turok or something on there just to bring that back for a little bit.
I'm thinking they don't want to slap, especially Nintendo. If Sony's not going to do it, Nintendo's definitely not going to do it. They'll keep it teen. I figured you would want Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah, well, I mean that's just a fun game. We kept getting it in the store, but like I don't know. It's just N64 games past the hallmarks like Zelda and all that. I don't know, like Clay Fighters or something, just to throw it out there.
Sculptor's Cut.
School. Kill the value of that game.
Yeah.
They should bring the Star Wars games that the N64 had. So you could have pod racing, you could have Rogue Squadron.
Pod racing was really fun. I like that one.
Shadows of the Empire. Love that game.
I'm gonna throw in if they can get it all figured out with likenesses and everything. I don't know. What you call it? No Mercy. Love that game.
Oh hell no! It would be awesome, but there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd make that happen. Maybe they could. I don't know.
They would have to literally just change it to modern characters, and they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that would work out.
You need to like cruise in USA.
Yeah, even though that maybe another cruising. Because Cruising USA was fucking brutal.
Like a pro skater or something. I don't know.
So, yeah,
Hybrid Heaven, Win Back. There's a couple hidden gems on there.
Hybrid Heaven is so weird.
What would be really funny is if the like the day before the PS1 Classic came out, Nintendo announced the 64 Mini for like early next year. That would be funny. Just to pull that on Sony. I feel like that's why Sony's holding those 15 games. It seems so weird to not tell us every game that's in there. It's so weird. Like a just in case thing.
Do you think that they're still figuring out what games they're gonna put?
I thought about that too. Yeah, I mean that'd be insane. By the way, if they're still working out license, like they already said 20 games, so I would hope they had some like all of them figured out. And they're maybe doing some paperwork and stuff in the background, but that would tell you that they're also rushing it a bit too.
I feel like it's just suspense. I mean, they don't really need to rush shit. I mean, they've had 2 huge bangers this year with God of War and Spider-Man. Like.
No, but I mean, like they want the mini, they want the classic for the holiday. Like they want it as a gift. That's a gift. People are just buying that.
The thing about it is, and they've done so well, but this is capitalistic. You know what I'm saying? They're looking like, look at how much money these micro systems are. Look at how much money Nintendo is selling, like 400,000 between the NES and the Super Nintendo.
It's ridiculous.
They're selling like 400,000 of these stupid little mini systems every month. That is just like millions and millions and millions of revenue just pouring in. And Sony's like, we need to get this. Yep. Like that's so much money that they feel is lost, because I think Sony's thinking we got a better library than Nintendo when it comes to PS1. Like we got a lot that we can pick from. I'm just saying that's what they think. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking that. So I mean, like I think Sony really wants to make sure that they get it out. So they see it as lost revenue, and they probably in their eyes from the business perspective,
That's fair. Yeah,
everybody's copying Sega with that awesome quality AT games at games.
The latest one is delayed now.
Yeah, I know, right? They're good. They're telling at games to take a seat.
That thing must
sit down for a minute.
That thing must have been so fun.
I bet you they showed up, like they showed up and they showed it to them, and then it cut to the outside of like the building, and the thing just went out the window.
Yeah,
that thing. Oh man, was that last one they had? I have it. I bought it, and it's not good.
AC Games shows up and they're like, ha ha ha, okay, where's the real system? Oh no, this is the real system. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, that thing is real. That is such a weird system. Like scrolling through the menu is weird. It's just, oh man, that's
so
just bad.
bad.
Yeah, so I was hoping they'd grab like M2 to do some of the work because they do some good work with the Ages.
Yeah,
I would like to see that. Maybe that's who they have. They didn't announce it. They just said a Japanese developer is doing the emulation. So
yeah. Well, they said something like it was people who originally worked on Mega Drive hardware in the past.
Wow, interesting. Okay. All right, I'd like to see that. I honestly, if they actually sat down and made a good system, we would all stop making fun of them. So
Sega's on the come up right now. They're actually doing a couple things decently.
Here's what they do. They got to go back to the drawing board. They got to get the Saturn Mini and the Dreamcast Mini. I did a poll and everybody wants the Dreamcast Classic. So let's make that happen.
I hear there's a Saturn thing in there.
I really want to see like Dreamcast, like Sega Ages Dreamcast. Like,
there's no real good emulator out there for either of those either. That's the interesting thing.
oh well, I want Panzer.
The one that Polymega, according to Polymega, don't quote me on this, but according to Polymega, they have made like very big advancements in their own words with Saturn emulation for their Saturn thing on the Polymega. So
well, here's what's going to happen, Polymega. I'm going to buy your system and then I'm going to find out myself. So hope it works. Hope it works. So let's move on with the last few topics we have here before we finish up with some of the super chat, the Discord questions. Telltale Games is no more. They closed down. They let go 250 people, I believe, and they kept on a crew of like 25 to finish up the Minecraft Story Edition for Netflix. And Capcom Vancouver also shut down, and they were responsible for Dead Rising. So Telltale, I think, was the biggest shocker. I mean, we saw Dead Rising. 4 didn't do well, 3 didn't do that well. It was clear that was on a kind of a decline there. But man, Telltale, that came out of nowhere a bit.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But did it really come out of nowhere, or was it like one of those things where you haven't heard the company name for so long that all of a sudden it was just
I mean, as in June they announced the deal with Netflix.
Yeah, and then what's really crazy is people were putting a lot of information coming out, because this always happens when this kind of stuff takes place. They were hiring people a week ago. Like, what are they doing? Like, they were hiring people a week ago. They didn't have any kind of severance packages, health insurance, nothing for the people that were let go. And a lot of them apparently were living in the Silicon Valley, so they were, paying a lot of money and stuff, so they were already having a hard time, and now they're
freaking Bay Area, dude. I live in California, guys. Stay away from that place like the plague.
Yeah, so it's like
apparently a metric ton of them were contract, not actually like
so they can't get unemployment either.
Yep.
Wow, man. So yeah, and what's really weird is they kept signing those deals. That's why I think people thought that Telltale was okay, because they were signing things like, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Batman. They're getting these big IPs, but honestly, that might have been the big issue, was all the money they're probably spending for the, the names and stuff.
And nothing sold. They hadn't had a financial success since The Walking Dead season 1.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Is this a situation where Let's Plays and Twitch and stuff would actually hurt their sales?
I think it is. I talked about it a little bit. I've watched all of these Telltale games. I have not played a single one. Man. I played one of them. We got one of them for free, The Walking Dead. But like all the other ones, I just watch on Twitch. There's tons of people like Mango or some of these streamers are playing these games, and I have had no inclination to ever buy one of these games. And I've seen or somewhat played. I haven't played it physically, but I've seen the whole thing. Maybe it's not the whole thing, but I think that there is something to play that I have not thought about purchasing a single one. But yeah, I've watched all of them, on Twitch.
See, I think you're right partly. Some people they watch the games. I think the bigger issue for Telltale was that you had episode 1 come out. The people interested bought it. But the problem is a lot of people waited for the entire season to be complete. And by then it was offered on PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live Games with Gold, or the seasons were discounted 50, 75% on Steam and the other platforms. So it became a time of, why am I going to buy it at launch? I can wait 6 months, get the entire season, and it's going to cost me, nothing. It's going to cost me next, $10 instead of $25, $30. they gave no incentive for people to buy day one and buy a season pass.
So you think it would have been better if they didn't release it in chunks, but one big thing?
Yeah, well, that's what some people are saying in the chat. They're like, we're tired of these episodic, and that's another reason why I don't buy this. Like, I'm tired of this episodic crap, man. I'm not trying to buy games in this part. Like, just give me the full game. Like, maybe I might be more inclined to do it, but like, I can just watch like a streamer just.
Maybe that's why Hitman moved away from that.
Well, I mean, the episodic Hitman shit was terrible.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're moving away from that too.
But
like they don't want to do it.
You know, it's funny. I actually was pretty outspoken about how I don't really like a lot of Telltale games, but looking at their catalog of games and then looking at some of the games that I've played that I actually liked from them, I don't know. I wasn't even going to do a video on it because I didn't give a shit. But then I realized, they did Back to the Future. Yep. They did Jurassic Park. And then, of course, they did The Wolf Among Us and the Batman games. But see, I didn't really care about that. But those two, Back to the Future and Jurassic Park are two films that I hold very dear to my heart, and they did such a fucking good job with those games. And it kind of makes me sad because I feel like that would have been cooler if that's what they would have focused on instead of TV stuff and other things like that. Because the Back to the Future stuff, that was the first time we had anything new Back to the Future since literally Back to the Future 3. And they had original voice actors return. They had a guy that played Michael J. Fox's voice actor was like almost 100% spot on. It was canon and it continued the story. The Jurassic Park game, the events took place during the first Jurassic Park movie, and like they did such good jobs with that, and it's a shame.
They wrote some good stories with that stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of talent out there for narratives. So I mean, a lot of people are out there. Ubisoft's hiring apparently them. So
I mean, Telltale, they definitely had talent. They did a lot of great work. But one of their issues was that the games just they felt derivative of each other.
They never evolved.
Yeah. And then as people were playing them, they started to play, I'll say, Game of Thrones or a new season of Walking Dead. And people started to realize my decisions aren't really having any impact in the game. Like in Game of Thrones, you could say, kill this character. No. And then 2 seconds later, another character killed that character. So where was my choice? It was happening no matter what I did.
Yeah, that was episode 2 of Wolf Among Us for me. Like I replayed both of those, changing all my decisions, still ended the same way. Just in those episodes alone, it just felt like nothing was happening
and stuff. And like that was kind of the story that started to spread, where people saying, "Well, the decisions no longer have an impact now. The games are glitchy. The engine is still a mess." And it was just, even if the games were high quality, they kind of started getting this toxic aura around them, that the games weren't worth the asking price on day one because they weren't performing well, or the stories just weren't, as captivating as The Walking Dead season 1 was. They kind of felt like they almost got complacent to a certain degree.
Yeah. I mean, I can see they pretty much had a formula laid out, and they just started taking, different IPs and just kind of adhering them to it. And that was, I guess that makes sense.
I talked about this just a little bit. Do any of you guys think that maybe they should have kind of like diversified their portfolio instead of just doing the single type of games? Maybe they try out some other stuff, do some smaller projects, some independent games, or
different gameplay style. Jesus Christ, all of their games.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they could have just done like a little action game, charge like $10 for it or $15 or whatever, and that can help supplement things,
And that's probably one of their problems too, is that if you don't give a shit about the source material, there's nothing to sort of draw you into that game because it's literally for only fans of the series. I don't care about The Walking Dead. I know I had no reason to play those games. The only Telltale game I played that was not of source material interest to me. I've played 4. Well, I mean, I played The Walking Dead. It was free on, I think episode 1 was free on the Xbox 360 back in the day. The only one that I played that I wasn't familiar with anything source material wise was The Wolf Among Us. And I actually liked that game because they did some deviations. But all the others, the Batman games, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, those were all because I'm fans of those franchises. If you're not a fan of the franchise, you're not going to play the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's tough, man. What about Capcom Vancouver? Thoughts on Dead Rising? Seemingly,
I miss them
going away for a while. I think we might not see it next generation even.
And there's a lot more going on behind the scenes with Capcom Vancouver than what people really know. I mean, you had They had Dead Rising 2. That was a good success for them. Dead Rising 3 was a decent launch game for the Xbox One. It kind of struggled. Dead Rising 4 tanked.
Yeah, that bombed. That was not good. Yeah.
And, I mean, they were working on several actually very exciting projects up until the closure, but Capcom canceled the games.
Oh no.
I mean, that was one of the factors that's what ended them.
What did they cancel?
I can't get into that.
Oh man. Am I gonna see? You know what? That actually might make for a good episode from Liam.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will eventually have the report on what they were. I mean, somebody from the company will probably end up leaking what they were working on
Liam,
at some point.
Yeah, Liam, you get on that, man. I would like to watch an episode of that, like, because he gets all the cool stuff that, like, the different games that get canceled and stuff from back in the day. So I'd be curious to hear about what Capcom Vancouver was working on. So it's a shame they canceled it. They didn't move it to another, like, branch or anything.
It was Lost Planet 4.
It better not have.
That's right.
That better not be where what you call it was Mega Man X9 was. Oh man, that's a shame though to see that. So yeah, Dead Rising. That's too bad. We probably won't see that for a long time. Maybe they'll reboot it at some point and bring it back. But man, Dead Rising 4 just no one bought that thing.
Kami 2 canceled again. That's fine.
Oh, better not be in it. Oh, Beautiful Joe. It better not been a Beautiful Joe, Michael. That was Beautiful Joe. I'm not going to be happy. Oh, man. And PlayStation Now. Does anyone here have PlayStation Now other than myself? Am I the only one with PlayStation Now?
Yes.
Apparently I am. PlayStation Now actually got an update.
I saw that.
It's interesting. Oh, you know what? I should probably check my PlayStation. They're putting it out in waves. Mine did not have it as of last night, so I haven't checked it again today. They're putting this out to where you can download the games now instead of having to stream them.
That's what it should have been in the first place.
You're right. You can't. Okay, you can't download PS3 games,
right?
Because the PS3 is like PS4 is not emulating that thing. But PS2 games and PS4 games, you have the option of just downloading now. And they put out an offer. It was $100 for the year, so technically that would make it also cheaper than Game Pass.
I didn't think of that. But there's not as many games on there as there's on Game Pass, right?
650 games are on PlayStation Now. So it's roughly 4 times more. Yeah.
It's been out way longer than Game Pass.
Yeah, I remember trying, because when you got your PS4, you got a free 7-day trial, and that streaming shit just killed it for me. I was like, no. Like, I was trying to play like a Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter 4, and it was just so damn laggy, and I was like, no, this is unacceptable. So I never returned to it. But when I saw that they were doing that, I was like, well, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't think I have the option still. Let me see. I'm going through the menu right now to see if I have. There should be a little download button that appears. I don't think I have it still. I think it's still just streaming. They said it would happen over the week. So apparently I'm still waiting for that. Yeah. But apparently that's going to be a thing. You're going to be able to download the game rather than stream it. So that's good. I like that. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting forever. Hear about that. Austin John was in the chat. You better be talking. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We'll talk about that in a second. The Pokemon Go stuff that's going down. There's some weird stuff happening out there. But the downloads, this now being a download feature, like Ni no Kuni's on there, but that's of course going to be a streaming thing. That's a game to check out on PlayStation Now, by the way, guys. If you have it now, are you guys any more interested now that it's download rather than streaming?
Yes, but I probably still won't plunge it because I have too many games to deal with anyways.
There you go.
I don't see how a normal adult can pay for this and play all this stuff. If you have a job, if you have a family, where do you get the time to pay and to play all this stuff? I mean, there's already cheap games. If you have PS Plus, right, you get a bunch of games that are cheap or whatever, or that they give to you with your subscription. Now there's a whole separate subscription service for more games. I mean, it's like, I don't understand these servers. Why would I spend, it takes me forever. I'm 40 hours into Xenoblade. There's already enough games as it is. And now you have these we have 600 games. Like, are you going to be able to play all those 600? Like, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's a little bit too much with all these subscription services and all these different stuff. Like, so I'm not any more interested in this than before. Just because if I want to play something like I'll go out, I'll get the physical copy of the game and I'll spend 60 or 70 hours or however long in Ni no Kuni. And I don't need it to be streamed or downloaded from an online type of deal. But that's, like I said, I'm old. So that's just old me talking.
I guess also if you don't have a PS3 or even a PS2, I guess this says PS2 and PS3 games on it. You can't get PS3 games otherwise on the PS4. I guess that's like a selling factor for them. It's streamed, but Dark Cloud 2 is on here. Looking at that right now, that's a good game. Yakuza 5. They keep adding games to it as well. Catherine's on here. That's a good game to check out before the second one comes out. I've had PlayStation now for a little while. The price was so high for a while. It was like $20 a month or something like that.
They're making a sequel to Catherine?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Catherine remaster thing that they're doing.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't know why I was thinking that too. I was looking at it. Yeah, because they're doing like the full body edition, which they added like new storylines and stuff too, right?
Kinky.
So
it is pretty kinky, actually.
I've never played it, but I've seen play.
I think I beat that game in like 2 sittings. I actually like that game a lot.
Have you guys read the details on the new, like the full body edition?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, it is super kinky.
Yep. I will be playing that one.
Yeah.
Ted Sumo, you're welcome for those sound clips, buddy. Use it wisely.
Oh man. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you can also PlayStation now you can also play on your PC. Forgot about that. You can also, if people don't know, you can also stream your PS4 through your network to your PC or your laptop. I've done that a couple times. It actually works very well. It works really well. Yeah. So okay, someone has to. Maybe somebody else knows this better than I do. Even there was some weird stuff showing up at Pokemon Go. I don't play Pokemon Go much, but I know Evan, you played it.
Occasionally, but I did see the picture that you're talking about with the bug, because there was supposed to be a major event where one Pokemon appeared, but it broke it and caused another that no one's seen before to start showing up.
Yes, so it almost looks like kind of like you have the nuts and bolts and stuff. It basically looks like that, like a hexagonal one sitting on top of just like a pile of stuff. It's weird. Yeah,
it's probably just a placeholder, honestly.
I mean, it's Ditto with a nut on his head.
Yeah, it's like what is going on here? Is it just like a glitch? I don't know. It was very odd, and everyone was trying to name it and figure out what was going on. I think people were capturing them even. It was almost like Missing No in like 2018, essentially is what that was. Yeah, okay. So people are saying that here it was a Ditto trying to turn into the new Gen 8. So people are thinking it was a Gen 8 Pokemon that was being shown off early by accident. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like a publicity stunt, or it's just like a tease for something.
An intentional leak is what people are saying. So it's maybe a tease of some kind. Yeah. Just getting people hyped up. Bastards. So maybe there'll be a new Pokemon in Let's Go, even if they'll show off at some point beforehand. So interesting, though. I haven't played Pokemon Go in a while. I don't know. I'm going to check that out again at some point.
Yeah, nothing really has changed.
You can get Mewtwo now, though, right?
I can send you my friend code as a QR code, and then you can actually like friend me up, and we can trade. Apparently, supposedly, I don't know if that's actually active. I'd have to look at it.
And well, apparently, I'm going to need it for Pokemon Let's Go. I guess Eevee and Pikachu.
Yep.
Get back into it for that.
I mean, you don't need it, but if
for Let's Go,
it just adds extra functionality to it. I think, right? You can
well, you put the Pokemon into the whatever that waiting room is, and you can just go capture them.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Evan, do you want to hit us with another Discord question before we finish up with super chats and call it a night?
Let's see. We got 2 more. What game franchise would you love to see on the Switch that has not been announced yet? He says Castlevania, which I think we keep hinting at anyway.
Castlevania is getting announced soonish. I thought it was going to be a TGS. So still waiting on that. It still could be, because it's going on right now. I think today's the last. Well, right now anyway, in Japan, I guess is the last day.
There's supposedly supposed to be some big live streams going on pretty soon here. Like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and stuff like that.
There you go. So everybody tune into that. Apparently, I guess Ace Attorney. So maybe Konami will sneak in an announcement on the last day.
Ace Attorney got announced for everything. That's awesome.
Yes. Apparently, though, there might be another announcement.
There might be Ace Attorney 7 announced, but some people are kind of like mad at Capcom right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to tell you it is happening just in case it doesn't, but
yeah, it might not happen. It might not happen. So
yeah, I was hoping
you heard it here first. It's happening. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, everywhere.
I was hoping Konami would have announced their Castlevania collection this weekend. They could still do it in the next 12 hours, so we'll see. But nothing yet. That could also be something they just send a press release out. Like I'm on Konami's press release and I keep checking my email. Like I've been checking it all weekend to see if they sent it out yet, but they have not.
I will say though, from what I understand, the Ace Attorney fans are some of the most cordial, nice people that I've met over the internet with their fandom. Like they've been very nice to me despite me messing up on multiple things. Whereas like other fan bases, when I mess up, oh boy, they let you have it. The Ace Attorney fans have been very nice to me, so I will say that.
Man. Let me go. Yeah, so we're thinking Castlevania. We're thinking what's a franchise I guess you'd want on the Switch at this point? People
Legacy of Kain series collected.
Ooh, that'd be good. I'd like to see. I mean, I just want to see Grand Theft Auto in there eventually. 5 even. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Xenosaga, if that counts.
Sure.
Baiton Kaitos, if that counts. Skies of Arcadia, Persona, any of those will be fine by me.
Persona 4 Golden would fit really well on the Switch.
Yep. But yeah, Skies of Arcadia, that'd be great. Skies of Arcadia 2, maybe. Maybe a remake of Skies of Arcadia.
What about you, Nate?
I would take Zone of the Enders.
Ooh, I'd take Zone of the Enders as well. The second one, though, specifically the second one.
Yeah, the second one. You can throw the first one on it just to give us, a little value and a nice, dual pack. But yeah, Zone of the Enders 2.
Cool. What about Evan? You got it. Oh, you said Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, Legacy of Kain.
Yeah. What about Sean?
Metal Gear.
Yeah, I really want that Metal Gear collection. Or what if they went and grabbed Twin Snakes and brought that back over?
I love Twin Snakes.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. But I mean, they did their collection 2 and 3. I keep saying, Konami, you got to bring that over 2 and 3. Put in that collection. That would be awesome.
Avenge Dennis Dyack. I don't know what he's doing right now, but we need to get Dennis Dyack back.
I mean, they fit it on the Vita. It's like, come on, like put it on the Switch. Put it on the Switch. The Vita version isn't even that good, to be honest. I had it. It wasn't the frame. It would get like 20 frames per second going through like the water where it's like raining in the beginning. It was choppy. It was choppy. I think Digital Foundry even did a whole thing on it. So okay, what's another? We have any other Discord questions, Evan?
This next question is a little weird. Considering Game Freak's smallish development team, I don't think that's real, right? Like they should have a lot of people. At least
Game Freak has a ton of
Game
people.
Freak is very large.
Game Freak has like 4 different teams.
Yeah, so that whole basically he's worried whether or not the rush of Pokemon basically year to year is going to cause one to be a rushed game. But I think the assumption here is that they have a small team when they don't.
No. they just hire as they need, and they've been hiring.
The simplest way is Pokemon RPG coming out next year is their A team. The Pokemon team working on Let's Go is like the D team.
It's like a younger team. Yeah, they put like
it's probably the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon dudes.
Yeah. So
and I think it's part of a mobile team that they recently acquired.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just bought Niantic. Screw it.
I wouldn't be worried about that because they know their games make money, so they have no problem hiring and spending money to get there. So
yeah. So I guess this question would be a little more. What kind of graphic style would you prefer if Capcom is working on Mega Man X9?
Ultra realistic. I want to see individual skin pores on Mega Man.
It should look like the new Spider-Man.
Yes.
I'd like to see hand-drawn visuals.
Hand-drawn anime aesthetic for me.
I'd like to see hand-drawn.
I don't mind the Mega Man 11 stuff. They just need to adjust the sprites to seem a little less childish.
Like, go look at Dust and Elysian Tale. Like that. I want to see those visuals for Mega Man X9. That would be cool. But yeah, they might even just do what they did with 11 and kind of go the easy way with like kind of that 2.5D. To be honest, that's probably something they'll do. But hand-drawn would be cool. Hopefully that's next year. We'll see. Whenever they already said that they're didn't they say that they're like looking into that or something with Mega Man? That's how you know they're already working on it.
They
like
said something stupid though, like, oh well, if Mega Man 11 sells,
they're already working on it, guys. He's like, come on,
we'll do more.
Just kind of ready. Oh my gosh, Mega Man 11 is gonna sell well, and X9 is already being made. So let's be real about this for a minute. They put like hints to it in their like soundtrack booklet and stuff. It's like, oh, come on. Okay, are those all the Discord questions, Evan?
Yep, that covers Discord.
Okay, Evan, how can they leave questions in the Discord and join the Discord? Can you tell people how they do that?
I mean, we got a Patreon. It's just $1. It gets you in there, and questions are currently accessible to anyone, even the dollar donators. So all you gotta do is check out our Patreon. I think links below.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It should be down below, so you can check it out. Evan runs the Discord and everything, so he's
we got
on,
tons of chat channels in in there. Just everything
active
for anything you might need.
He's on it. So, and let me go through the super chat questions, then we'll be good to go. Love Empath says, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. I didn't even think of Pokemon Stadium. I would like to see those, but it loses kind of some of the functionality, the transfer pack. But I will say I never used the transfer pack back in the day with it. So
I did. Those games that kind of rely on the transfer pack, man. Like rental Pokemon are kind of garbo. So I mean, like,
yeah.
It kind of loses a lot of its awesomeness without the transfer packs.
They definitely need Mario Party, though. I will say that. Drop a Mario Party 2. Mario Party 2. They need 2. 2 was it. Teresk says, what if the N64 Classic is released with all their different color variations? That would be cool. Yes and no, because I would try to buy all of them. So that wouldn't be cool, but that would be neat. If they came out with at least like 3 different kinds or something.
Just go atomic purple or try to get the Japanese only. What was it? Orange and smoke black.
Those were cool, but they're going to go like, I think they're going to go, they would go black, purple, and green. Jungle green. I think those are the ones I personally think they would go with, just because those are the most, I think, recognizable. But I say bring them all over. That'd be neat. That would be neat. What color would you guys get real quick? We'll go down the line real quick. What's the purple?
Purple, yeah.
Whatever I could find in the store, I don't care.
on the 3rd day after it's released, when he shows up and just kind of like digs through the piles.
Oh man. What about Nate? What color would you get, man?
I would either go with the classic black or give me that nice Pikachu Pokemon yellow N64.
I think I'd actually go with the orange 64. There was an orange one. We had that in at one point. I remember that in the store. It was actually pretty rare. Wishbone. No more Jurassic Park episodes from Telltale with a sad face. I think Sean feels your pain on that one. Sakon 10 says, how you guys seen those Bowsett fan arts? Yikes. I don't know what that is.
We'll say yes.
Okay, there you go. They say yikes, so it's probably not good. Chris says, hey, SpawnCast group, need an opinion on something. Should I purchase a PS4 or Switch? I'm more of a platformer and fighting game player. Thanks.
That is the conundrum, because you got the platformers on the Switch, but fighting game communities. If Smash is your fighting game, Switch. Well, but if all the other ones are your fighting game, PlayStation.
You're thinking like Street Fighter and stuff.
Yeah, no, I got the Street Fighter anniversary. It depends.
Yeah, but that's anniversary. But like community wise, if you want to play against a lot of people,
yeah, I would definitely say if fighting games are your thing, PlayStation is probably your best bet. But I mean,
if you see Smash as like your go-to, I mean,
if you're completely fine with dumping hours into Smash, just go with a Switch.
But I mean, out of like the Nintendo systems that we had recently, I mean, this is probably some of the best support. We're seeing stuff like Blaze Blue, like Central Fiction just got announced. Central Fiction. We got Guilty Gear coming. Cross tag battles already out on the system, and there's some other stuff as well. So
there's a worry of sustained community. We'll have to see how it keeps going forward.
That's true.
Do you mean because Blaze Blue has like 10 people playing now? Is that what you're referring? Is that what you mean?
Currently 60, but like depending on the games, Dragon Ball FighterZ hopefully will do well. I don't know how Guilty Gear is going to do past the first 2-3 weeks in terms of
there's that other Blaze Blue coming now, Evan, so you could check that one out too.
I'll have to keep checking them. I love fighting games, so I keep buying them.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. And then the last one, Rikuki 2, Bandai Namco announced Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet, and Hollow Realization for the Switch. Think we'll get Code Vein or Ni no Kuni 2 later next year. I think Code Vein I think that's pretty clear, obvious, I think anyway at this point. But Ni no Kuni 2, I don't know about Ni no Kuni 2.
I think there might be a deal in place with Ni no Kuni.
I think so
too. Code Vein, that's going to come at some point.
I think we'll see Ni no Kuni either 1 or 2, maybe both. Who knows?
Look at this guy.
I think we'll see one of those eventually come to Switch.
I want the first one. Forget the second one. Bring the first one.
Yeah, hopefully the first one comes out because I hear it's better than the second.
First one,
I definitely hated playing the second.
I love the first one. Bring the first one over. I'll play through it again. Outstanding game. I didn't play the second one. Evan described it to me as being a terrible game. So the first one was outstanding, though. That's an RPG everyone should play, and unfortunately, it's pretty much stuck right now anyway on the PS3.
I will say they have made some updates and improvements to the second game, though, post-launch. Some DLCs and stuff that they put out, and some general improvements.
It sounds like the first one's more of a classic JRPG than the second one.
Yeah, the second one's an action. Second one's an action RPG, like a very basic action RPG that's super easy.
Basic,
it's just basic and easy. And they updated it. They added some new mechanics and they added a hard mode. So you want to play on that, you know.
I'll tell you what, the first one reminds me of Dragon Quest 11. Like Dragon Quest 11 and Ni no Kuni 1 play very similarly. So that's probably why I like Dragon Quest 11 and Ni no Kuni, because they're so similar. They're old school JRPGs. So that'd be cool. Nate, I hope you're hinting towards that because I want to play that.
I never said it was a hint.
Oh man,
I said I
sounded like a hint to me.
Oh, there. Let's go see if that reset era thread's made yet.
Oh God.
Oh man, Justin Harris says love the show, was late sadly. # don't hit the like button. All right, very good. And then Ted Sumo dropped 10 in. Ted Sumo made spent a lot of time editing that last one.
So good.
I think I think Bob Wolf is in the crosshairs now. So sorry Bob, but Ted's on you. I want to see that because he said some stuff in that SpawnCast. That's gonna be great. So yeah, guys, check out Ted Sumo. Do we have his Evan? Do you have his YouTube channel you could drop in the chat?
Yeah, I can look it up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can drop that in there. Check out Ted Sumo. He made some fun little parodies of the SpawnCast, and you guys are gonna have to keep an eye out for Bob's because he's gonna.
If you don't like me, which I'm pretty sure some of you guys, if you don't like me, watch the latest one.
Well, Bob Wolf from the Wolf Den specifically called out Ted during that spot. He said, "You know what's going down." It's going down. But I guess that's gonna do it here for episode 77. Check out Ted Sumo. He has you in the there you go, in the YouTube channel there. Check him out. He seems to do them a lot. So if you like watching the SpawnCast, check out. I think he has them out like every other week or something like that.
It depends.
Well, yeah,
there is some time between them.
It's a lot of editing, so they obviously think about it a lot, so to get it so it's funny and everything. So make sure you check that out. We'll go around here. Sean, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at RGT85. It's been an absolutely incredible week on the channel. I broke records for single day of views, including beating my E3 coverage, which was a lot more draining than the other day was, but hey, I'll take it. And we also broke a subscriber record for a single day. We got the freaking silver play button in. It's been very crazy, very rewarding, and very great, and it's all because of you people. So yeah, RGT85, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube's. I'm probably going to film something right after this because I got a couple things I want to talk about. So yeah.
Cool. That'll work. What about OJ? Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, man. Right here on YouTube, just Player Essence. I've got a giveaway that I've linked a couple times. I'll put it in the chat again for Monster Hunter Ultimate or Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, courtesy of one of our awesome community members. We've been doing a lot of giveaways. So I'll link that. That's going to be in the chat. And upcoming on the channel, there should be some cool stuff. Like I said, I should have my Torna review or just more in-depth talk about that going up next week. So if you like RPGs, you like Japanese gaming, you like all that stuff, check out the channel when you get the opportunity.
Cool. Sounds good. And then what about Nate? Where can they find you, man?
They can find me at Direct Feed Games on Twitter. From there, you can find my YouTube channel linked in my profile page. And I have a lot of footage of Switch games coming up in the next week. Disgaea 1 Complete, some FIFA 19, probably have undocked direct feed footage of FIFA 19 plus docked footage. I have a comparison coming to Game Explain for FIFA 19 coming next week, which will pit it against the Xbox One version.
Ooh, okay, cool.
And just a lot of other indie games coming to Switch. So a lot of good content coming up until the month is over and even into October.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening now. So a lot of games coming up. This is going to be fun. You're going to pit like Dragon Ball Fighters against the two different versions and everything as well. Think about that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do Dragon Ball Fighters. Do docked versus undocked, just so you can see the resolution if there's any performance difference. I have a PS4 Xbox One versus Switch video up now on the channel from when the beta was just going on.
Okay, cool.
So
very good. And then Evan, you're on Twitter.
Yep, follow me on Twitter. I announce things that I'm doing over there, talk to people randomly.
Cool.
And yeah, if I'm streaming, it's all through there.
Okay. Very good. I guess that's going to do it here tonight. Episode 77 was a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys next weekend, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.